On this episode of the DTVC podcast, we've got Ty from Comeuppance on, and we're going to be looking at Armor, the Sylvester Stallone Randall Scandal that came out recently, and Aftermath, a new one on Netflix with Dylan Sprouse. So stay tuned for that. Also, our spotlight on a fight this week is the end fight in Double Team with Jean-Claude Van Damme, Mickey Rourke, and Dennis Rodman. So stay tuned for that. Now, before we get to next week's episodes, I wanted to mention about last week's episode I did with Will from Exploding Helicopter, where we looked at two from Scott Adkins, one of which was Accident Man, Hitman's Holiday, and we were asking why the actor who played Freya Dupreez, I think it's Dupreez or Duplessis, something like that, but Dupreez, why she wasn't credited in the film. And Rich Haas from DTV Digest, he reached out and let us know that because that actor and her husband were convicted of sex crimes against a minor. I'm not going to get into any of the details. You can go check it out. It's on the BBC actually covered it. But because of that, I guess they had to kind of figure out they were going to split the difference because they didn't want to cut her entire scene out of the film. So they just didn't credit her. So that's why she's not credited in the film. Because Will and I were wondering wondering aloud why that was the case. Why she wasn't credited. Well, Rich let us know that is why. So, which makes a lot of sense. So I won't talk about it anymore here, but just to kind of put that in there, I guess it's like a little retraction kind of thing or an update or something. I know when I listen to Behind the Bastards, Robert Evans, he'll come in, like you'll hear this, you'll listen to the episode and then you'll hear sort of this change in the tone of the audio, and you'll hear, "Hi everyone, this is Robert Evans here. I just want to let you know," and then he'll go into what they got wrong and how he fixed it. But in this case, it was well after the episode had been, or I'd say well after, it's a few days after the episode went up that Rich let us know. So if we're going to just do a retraction of sorts here and let people know, if you're wondering why that actor is not credited in Accident Man, Hitman's Holiday, go take a look on the BBC website, and you'll see why. So, figure we get that out of the way. But thank you, Rich, for letting us know about that. Always appreciate that when people listen to the show and, can give us more insight on some of the things that we talk about on here. That always helps. And this one especially was very much appreciated. So thank you again for that, Rich. Anyway, back to what we've got coming up on the podcast. Next week, we've got Jeanette Ward from Mundane Adventures of a Fangirl, and we're going to be looking at American Ninja 4. Also, we start that episode with a good conversation about Thunderbolts and Brave New World. So that was really fun as well. And then in 2 weeks' time, looks like I guess we're already finishing out the month of June, I guess. I can't believe that. But we're going to have Chris Kavinsky from Bulletproof Action on, and we're going to be looking at Cold Harvest. So that was another fun conversation as well. So keep an eye out for those in the coming weeks. And then DTVC Extra. I have watched Face Off. I need to watch Snake Eyes, and then we are going to do we're going to finish off that Nicolas Cage episode of DTVC Extra. My plan is to hopefully have that up on Friday. I'll explain why Friday more in a little bit. And then also, I don't know if we're going to be doing another DTVC Extra after that. And again, I'll explain more in a little bit. Why? Because we've got some new developments with the Direct Video Connoisseur that I want to discuss as well. But of course, it's been a couple times, right, that we've said DTVC Extra is done, right? I think when I first started going weekly, we're like, okay, well, we're going to get rid of DTVC Extra. Then I started doing episodes again. And then when the new year came, I was like, I'm going to be busy with work and stuff like that. Oh, we'll get rid of DTVC Extra. But then I'd have these one-off episodes. I think this could be the last one for a while, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Of course, these Nicolas Cage movies have been fun. We almost didn't get a chance to do these because Face Off was removed from whatever streamer it was on. I want to say it was Paramount Plus. But it is on AMC Plus, which we don't have AMC Plus, but my cable company had a copy of AMC, the AMC version of it. So it had commercials and stuff like that, but at least it was enough for me to be able to watch the movie and be able to discuss it with everybody. So just got to watch Snake Eyes here. I started it the other night, fell asleep, so I got to jump back in. Once we get Snake Eyes in the can, then we'll do that episode. Probably do a little bit on Brave New World as well, just because I did finally see that episode. So maybe we'll kind of tack it on at the end of that episode. Look out for that. Probably sometime like Friday night into Saturday. We'll have that at some point there. And then in terms of the site, we just did Death by Temptation, which was something that we covered on episode 198 of the podcast. So keep an eye out for that. You can find that episode, that post already up there now. We don't do as much horror on the site, but Death by Temptation, that was a fun trauma movie. It was a great conversation with Freddie Young from Full Moon Reviews on episode 198. And, just again, because of the names that were involved, the fact that it's a trauma film, I wanted to get it on the site as well. So, so we've got the review up there too. In terms of this weekend, I think we're probably going to do Lights Out, which is one that Ty and I talked about on one of our past episodes. So I don't remember exactly what episode it was. I probably should have looked it up, but we do, like I said, we do one a month, so it can be hard sometimes to track them down. But I do keep track of the episodes that Ty and I do on a Letterboxd page, and the link to that Letterboxd is in the episode description, so you can go check that out and see some of the ones that Ty and I have talked about. And that was a previous one. It was a Frank Grillo with Mekhi Phifer. I can't remember who else who else was in that episode, or what other movie was in that episode. But Lights Out was one that we discussed a little while back. I think it's a Christian Sesma film. So that's probably what I'll be doing this weekend, just because I've got double duty on podcast recordings. So I got to make sure I get those movies watched as well. So those will be some future episodes that we've got on the podcast. So of course, stay tuned for those as well. But yeah, so keep an eye out for that this weekend. Lights Out, Christian Sesma film with Frank Grillo. A small role from, that's right, it was our Dermot Mulroney double feature, because we did Ruthless in that same episode. So if you look in the archives for the Dermot Mulroney double feature, that's right, because Dermot Mulroney's in Lights Out as well. Okay, so definitely keep it out for that. But then the new development with the direct-to-video connoisseur, you may have noticed on our YouTube page, our YouTube channel, or whatever, however you call it, I did a short little look at the or breakdown of the skyscraper opening action sequence, with the Bud Dry truck in Malibu, and all kinds of stuff like that, the bad ties and everything. Really good reception so far, so people seem to have liked it. So we're gonna do another one. The one I'm gonna do this week is the gauntlet fight in Mission of Justice, right? So Jeff Woodcott flipping his way into the middle of the gauntlet and beating the crap out of everybody. So I've got it recorded, I've got the video made. It's just a matter of when I'm going to post it. And one of the things I discovered last week was that I posted it on Tuesday, and then I also posted the new episode on Tuesday, the new podcast episode, the Scott Adkins one. And one of the things I forget is that whenever I post an episode of the podcast, it goes to YouTube. So the videos were kind of competing there. And actually, it was for a podcast video. It actually did really well compared to some of the other podcast videos that we do on YouTube. Because again, they're just kind of there. What happened was when Google Music, when that went away, Google was like, well, you can put your podcast on YouTube. And so essentially it's just an RSS feed that goes out just like it would go to anything else, like Apple or something like that. So really all you're getting is just the logo. What I've done now is I've added, I've started to use the social media branding that I do for the podcasts. I'm going to start using that for the thumbnail on those episodes, but for the most part, right, just because of the episode there. But what was happening is it was almost like having two posts at the same time by having the video on Tuesday and the podcast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the video to Thursday this week. So look for that on our YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you should be, because we're going to start putting more content on there now. And I'm going to try to do this once a week if I can. I've got a new computer that runs a little faster. I can run OBS. I can do some of those kinds of things. So, going to try to do this once a week. But, this week it'll be Mission of Justice, the Gauntlet sequence. And again, look for that on Thursday. I should be posting it on Thursday. And part of the reason why I want to post it on Thursday is I want to give the podcast episode a chance to go up and be up for a little bit. But then, of course, with DTVC Extra, that's also going to jump on top of the video. So I think that might be why I might give DTVC Extra a break, just because, one, the time involved to record it, but then two, while I'm doing these videos, it might be a little bit much. So we're going to finish off this Nicolas Cage thing because I started that. I want to get that done and in the can. But after that, probably we'll replace DTVC Extra with these videos on YouTube, and we'll see how they go. But so far, so good. People have been enjoying them. So, and of course, always drop me a line. If there's any action sequences you want me to cover on there, I'm always happy to as well. And then I think, I was trying to think of episodes I've been on of podcasts. I did record with John from After Movie Diner for an episode on Guardian Angel for the PM podcast. So keep an eye out for that. That should be up sometime in the near future. A really fun time discussing that. So, of course, watch socials, and I'll post whenever that's available as well. And then, of course, my book, Naughty and Aiden, that is out available now for people to buy. Paperback, Kindle Unlimited. The link is in the podcast description. I've already gone almost 10 minutes here. We had a lot to discuss in this opening here, a lot more than we usually do. So why don't we get into our episode? So we'll have John Cross from After Movie Diner playing in our theme song. Also, this week I've got some bumper music to a commercial, and so I wanted to give credit to the bumper music. Trendsetter is the artist, and the song is called Mood Maze. I got this off of Upbeat. So if you ever need free music, Upbeat is a really great place to do that. Again, you got to just credit the artist. which I'm doing here. And of course, you can find more information about Trendsetter in the podcast description as well. But yeah, Upbeat is a great way. They don't pay me to do this advertisement. I'm just telling you myself. But if you need music for your podcast or videos or something like that, they're a great place to go for that kind of thing. But anyway, yeah, without any further ado, John will play in our theme song. And when we come back, we'll have Ty on and we'll be looking at Armor and Aftermath. All right, we are back. Welcome back to the Direct Video Connoisseur podcast. As always, this is Matt here, and joining us for his monthly spot on the pod, Ty is back. Welcome back, Ty.
Hey, thanks for having me back on. Get ready for Stallone impressions today.
yes, because we got two movies that start with the letter A, Armor and
true.
Aftermath. We got two movies that take place on a bridge, and two movies that involve armored cars. So
yeah, that's crazy. As he said to Trump a few months ago.
Oh, right, yes.
Congratulations, it is next George Washington.
Yes, exactly.
That's great. And the next George Washington, I'm the next Donald Trump. I'm Donald Trump now. Okay.
Right. Yeah. This is going to be, when we get into Armor, it's going to be interesting because that iconic voice is there. In a Randall scandal, a Bonded Media Randall scandal.
Bonded Media. Love that beach sound. So soothing. But we'll get to that soon.
Yes. We'll kick off like we usually do with what you've been watching lately. So, Ty, what have you been watching lately?
Well, I watched, finally, people might say, Swept Away, the Madonna movie.
Yes, I still haven't seen that one myself, so
I thought, okay, it can't be. I bought it at Goodwill months and months and months ago. I was like, it can't be that bad.
Right.
Okay, so the first half is insufferable. Now, most people, it's insufferable because it's her, Madonna, just yelling at like this Italian guy for like an hour and a half, or like it felt like an hour and a half. It was more like about 40 minutes of her yelling at him about like getting her like coffee and cakes and exercise bike. It's very irritating. And they get swept away. People know about the plot of this movie. They get trapped in like a deserted island. Then it gets a little weirder and darker in the second half. See, people don't talk about this part. People just talk about the Madonna being annoying part. Right. So the Italian guy, I'm going to give a spoiler. So if people haven't seen this, So the Italian guy, like, because he's the man, he lords over her and he assaults her, we'll say, and this is a family podcast. And then she falls in love with him after that. Like, you gotta be kidding me. That's the plot of the movie. They really hide that part in the trailer. If you watch the trailer, which is a stupid trailer, it's her like having a dream sequence dancing around in a yellow dress. They hide everything else. So it's like interesting. Yeah. Then I thought the second half actually was like a real movie. So I don't know. Don't watch it, I guess.
Yeah, because it was a remake, right? And so I
guess it was a remake.
In the past, they would have thought that kind of thing was more acceptable. So the fact that when you do the remake, even knowing that part was more acceptable in the past when it really shouldn't have been, like just because it was more acceptable in the past doesn't mean it should have been. And so the fact that no, I didn't know about that part of it. I just knew that
I know.
Yeah, man.
I know. Most people forget. Oh, so what did you know about it?
No, all I knew was just that it was the critics panned it. They said it was bad, but they didn't say necessarily that part of it was why.
Maybe everyone walked out after the first 40 minutes because it wasn't insufferable.
Right.
It was just like, in the classic, I know, and I don't want to say this either, but if Madonna smiled more in the first half, it maybe was likable.
Right.
And I would like the movie a bit more. I actually would recommend the movie because it would kind of kind of out there.
Yeah.
It's like it almost pulled it off. Plus, kind of a darkish, sad ending to it too. If you want to, I don't know if I should spoil that either, but
The movie's been out for a while, so I would
yeah, it was
imagine.
over about 20 plus years.
Yeah. So
So what happens is, once Madonna falls in love with him, they get back to shore, and then she leaves him for her actual husband, played by Bruce Greenwood.
mhm.
And then the town guy runs after her after she's in the helicopter, saying, "Don't leave me," and then throws this ring into the water, and that's the end of the movie.
That's it.
Yeah, it's like
Well,
it was kind of ridiculous. It's like you could have pulled that off better. Yes, me.
right. Yes,
It's
man.
Madonna, so it's like her best movie obviously is Body of Evidence.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I've seen that recently.
It's been a long time. Yeah, that one was right. That was supposed to be. That was like the first like really public NC-17 movie.
No, I think it went to rated R. There's an
They-
R-rated version on the old DVD.
I think they cut it. They had to cut it
They
because
cut
of
it
that.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they cut it for sure. I mean, it's a wacky movie. I don't know if perfect for a VHS or Laserdisc.
Right. Yeah,
That's the
there's some
thing.
movies that are just it's interesting because I never really thought of that before. But you're right, that one is very much like it's great. Like you said, it's great for VHS. But there aren't a lot of movies that are in that the Laserdisc sweet spot. But that definitely is one, and I don't think it was a Laserdisc movie.
There's also the latest movie, which is Money Train, because
Yep.
it was the only way to watch it in widescreen for a long time. The classic Wesley Snipes movie,
Yeah,
or
that one
Robert
is-
Blake movie, as I call it.
Right, yes.
So I watched that, and I watched a bunch of other stuff. I did watch Narrow Margin, as I told you this afternoon.
Yes, yeah.
The remake. You see all the footage from the other movies.
Right, exactly.
Isn't that amazing? It's like,
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you borrow stuff from film. It's funny, like Steven Spielberg when he did Duel, he did it for CBS, and then he saw one of his car accident sequences in an Incredible Hulk episode, and realized that because he made the movie for CBS, that part of the clause was that they could use any of the footage from his movie and put it into any of their TV shows that they wanted, and he couldn't believe it. So he made a clause ever since then that nobody could use pieces of his movies in TV shows or other works. It's like something that's like, I guess it's always even, obviously he's making big studio projects now, but yeah, he couldn't believe that I guess, I don't know if he just didn't read the fine, but I mean, he was young at that time too, but
it must have been a young Steve.
yeah. Because that movie, Svengoolie did Duel somewhat recently.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was
He's
kind of a fun
still
episode.
kicking.
Yeah. It's I think it's reruns at this point because it's the summer. But I think Duel was when they first pushed it from 2 hours to 2.5 hours. Because they do like a 2.5 hour one now because then they can do movies that are a little bit longer and maybe go to like maybe a 2:15 mark with like if you do like an hour and a half movie. Because of how many commercials we have nowadays, an hour and a half movie is like a 2 hour and 15-minute presentation between the commercials and his like bumpers and things like that.
That's very Tubi of him.
Right.
So because every movie on Tubi is at least 2.5 hours for a movie that's 90 minutes.
Right.
But it makes me think. So if CBS stole footage from Duel from the past, what if they stole footage from today? So they just do Incredible, but they cut to like Everybody Loves Raymond. It's just like for like 1 second, like right. It's like
that would be amazing if like whatever their shows are like what a CSI, right? A CSI show. If they just had footage of like the older brother just like walking in the house with like an angry look on his face, or like you said, like the wife being like Ray, it's like oh, I don't know, I'm not gonna take the twins to school or whatever.
Everybody Loves Raymond, I guess.
Right.
It's just like, I guess. It looks like it was supposed to be sarcastic.
I think it was supposed to be sarcastic, right? Because like his mom obviously is kind of more like this like Italian mother who really gives the wife a hard time, right? So she's like really passive. So there's that, and then the dad is just kind of a jerk half the time. Peter Boyle, you gotta love him,
right? Peter Boyle. I just saw him, and when I watched him, I just saw Peter Boyle on something. Great. It's good.
Yeah, young Peter Boyle is great. I love a good young Peter Boyle, like in Taxi Driver, that kind of thing.
Right, and then he just becomes Peter Boyle. Well, I just saw it. Why is it not coming to me? But It's gonna drive me nuts if I don't look it up.
Right. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. But
The
no,
browser.
yeah, as you're doing that, I'll kind of, I mean, yeah, like everybody loves Raymond because I think it was supposed to exist in the same universe as
Okay.
why am I drawing a blank on the Kevin James show?
Oh, King of
King of
Queens.
Queens. Yeah, why did I draw a blank on that? But I think they were supposed to exist in the same universe. I think they did crossover episodes and things like that.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah, but it's interesting because Ray Romano's character is like a little bit older than Kevin James is. Kevin James is like he was definitely kind of more in like this firm Gen X category, whereas Romano was like a little bit older, not quite boomer, but like he kind of fit that mold, and so so
Right.
his show
Pretty
wasn't quite
close.
as edgy as King of Queens was.
Because what's funny about King of Queens and Kevin James, there's two things. Number one, they're in that movie together, which is called Grilled. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
It's not bad, actually. It's like a dark comedy where they sell meat, and like Burt Reynolds is like a mobster,
Oh,
and who
nice,
else is in it? Sofia Vergara and Michael Rappaport, Juliette Lewis. It's a pretty good
nice.
cast for a straight to video.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Kevin James is in an episode of Martial Law. So I forget about that.
Oh, right. Yes, yes.
Sammo Hung, and he fights Sammo Hung.
Right, because he's like
And
a,
it's like,
a jujitsu, like
yes, he does like wrestling jujitsu back in the past before
right.
he, became a heavier man.
Yeah, because I think he was like a high school wrestler. I don't know if he wrestled
Yeah.
in college as well, but he was like a high school wrestler. And then he like learned these other martial because I remember the old UFCs, because I think he's friends with Joe Rogan. With the old UFCs that I used to watch, like kind of the double digit numbered ones, he would be there for those. He would sit in and watch them and stuff like that. So yeah, so yeah, I kind of remember that.
It was a great episode because it's kind of fun to see him like being somewhat serious.
Right.
It's like great show. I don't know if you own that show or
Which
seen
one?
it. Martial Law.
Oh yes, martial law. Yes, oh I love that one. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
because that was a good Saturday night there where you had Walker and martial law, and the thing was, what I think was that Cynthia Rothrock and Stacy Keach's Irresistible Force would have slotted in perfectly as maybe like the 10 o'clock movie
that
there.
would have been fantastic.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't know if it was because they thought it was too expensive. I don't know why they didn't pick it up because it would have been perfect.
because I think it's not too late to put Rothrock. We just talked about her in Taken from Rio Bravo. Amazing performance by Cynthia Rothrock in that one.
Right? Yes, it was
What
great.
was
I
that?
know.
What the heck was that? It's like a southern accent or something.
Right.
I didn't even recognize it. Oh my goodness, it's Cynthia Rothrock. What's going on?
Right.
What's going on?
Yeah.
But speaking of, also Die, Do, and Don. Remember that thing we mentioned years ago?
Oh, right.
Diagnosis Murder, was it Due South, and then Nash Bridges,
Nash
right?
Bridges with Dodd. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And they never made the new Nash Bridges, I guess.
No, right. They did the movies, and then I wonder if they thought they were going to get like sometimes that happens, right? They do these movies, and they want to see what kind of response they get for the movies, and then it's a matter of okay, if the movie works, then yeah, we'll bring it back, or no, we'll just go, It was funny. I was talking about this when I was talking about the Daredevil, Born Again, my solo pod, because there was the Daredevil, there was the trial of the Incredible Hulk, and that was like a backdoor trailer to Daredevil, to a Daredevil TV series that never happened.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Who was Daredevil in that show?
It was a gymnast. I can't remember his name.
Not Kurt Thomas, of course.
No, unfortunately, no. Would have been awesome.
Was it Mitch Gaylord? I'm trying
Yeah,
to
that would. Oh my God, can you imagine? That would have been amazing. It's funny when you type in "trial of" on IMDb, you get a whole bunch of TV movies. Yeah. So so there's like so many. I was gonna say there's so many trials of. Yeah, Rex Smith. Rex Smith played Matt Murdock, Daredevil.
Oh, Rex Smith. Oh, Rex Smith. Street Hawk.
Exact. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I think he could have done it in a TV show. If you see the outfit, it's ridiculous.
I'll look that up. I didn't know that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what happened was it was like the second. So there's 3 of these Incredible Hulk TV movies. So there's one before it was Return of the Incredible Hulk. That one had Thor in it, and they were going to have a Thor TV show that never caught on. And then same thing here. They were trying to. I didn't realize this, but in the 80s, Daredevil was the second most popular Marvel comic after Chris Claremont's X-Men. Like, so people were really big fans of Daredevil at that time. So they thought they could cash in, but like the outfit that he wears, it's like this lycra spandex like one suit thing that just looks ridiculous. And I mean, there's no way that like Gen X kids at that time who are all like kind of, you know, jaded and hard edged and, you know, like the Daredevil that, you know, threw Bullseye off a roof and all that kind of stuff. They were going to go for this Daredevil, but then also fans of the Incredible Hulk were kind of like, well, where's my Incredible Hulk that, you know, I grew up with, you know, walking down the street and all that, kind of like the you know, with the sad
right. That's what Bruce Willis did in American Siege.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
But also, where's my Lou Ferrigno? Where's my Lewis? Is it Louis Ferrigno? Is that his full name? But people call him Lewis. But it's like
Louis. Yeah, do they call him Lewis now? Is that a bit for seriousness?
Maybe it's a bit for seriousness. It's Louis Ferrigno. Did you ever watch Instant Death?
No, I haven't.
I mean, it's Lou Ferrigno. He's out for revenge. It's a little low rent. It's from the makers of Skin Traffic. The one of Michael Madsen. You know? Yeah, and maybe Eric Roberts and Michael Madsen in the same scene. Maybe, couldn't tell. They didn't hide it well. Maybe they weren't.
Instant Death. That one's on Tubi, right?
Oh, I think it might be. Yeah, I found. Yeah, it's not somewhere. Maybe Netflix disc when it was still making discs. Yeah. It's Lou Ferrigno out for revenge. It's a little rat and some, but you know, weird, creepy moments.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the one thing about the She-Hulk TV series that I didn't like was that instead of doing like the old Hulk show where they had Ferrigno and he was, you know, they found a person who looked enough like a bigger version of Bill Bixby that, you know, that it would work. What they did with She-Hulk was that they just picked any woman who was like taller and bigger, and then they just put Tatiana Maslany's face like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so it's CGI and it just looks really weird, and I don't know why they did that because the show. I don't. Did you watch the She-Hulk show?
I've only seen clips of all the twerking stuff. That's about it.
The show itself is essentially like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's like their Psych or Monk. And it's kind of fun, you know. It's kind of fun to watch Psych or Monk take place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It kind of has those kinds of beats. It kind of has that feel to it,
like a procedural kind of fun, procedural comedic beat.
Exactly. The problem is that whenever she turns into She-Hulk, it's this weird CGI face thing that kind of is a little. It's off-putting, and it kind of just goes against all the other great stuff that's. I mean, Daredevil. You know, Charlie Cox. He, you know, his Daredevil makes an appearance, and
I heard about that,
yeah, it's really fun. So it's like a really fun show, and it's like I don't know, I don't know if it's a SAG thing where it was like, well, Tatiana Maslany needs to be in this for a certain amount, so we can't, you know. And I think it's the other part is that She-Hulk is a little different from the Incredible Hulk, where like She-Hulk was like always like a more lucid version of herself, like so she would talk normally and all that stuff. Whereas, you know, when Incredible Hulk turned into the Incredible Hulk, he was like, you know, he would just kind of grunt and say like one word
sentence. Well, yeah, just like classic. I should watch the old Incredible Hulk program. I never had a chance to watch it.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me too. It used to be on when I get home from school. It would be on reruns.
What channel was that on when you were watching reruns?
Jeez, what would it have been? Would have been either Channel 56 in Boston or WNDS in Derry, New Hampshire. That was the channel that I think I told you about that. They had the Friday night Renegade Street Justice block. Yeah,
what a night.
Because it might have been like Incredible Hulk, and then like, you know, you get to like Simpsons at 7, you know, or Simpsons
at 6, and, Simpsons at 7. It used to be at 7:00. Sometimes, if you're lucky, it used to be on the weekends around like 2 p.m.
Oh, yes.
In the 90s. It's like, hey, look, a Simpsons is on.
Right. Yes, exactly.
And it was like, because that was back in the day when there were good episodes of The Simpsons for the most part.
Yes. Yeah. Right. That's a good
point. But I think if you're talking Daredevil, you got to obviously mention Wilson Fisk, you know, Vanessa.
Right. Well, so in the Trial of the Incredible Hulk, it was Reese, John Reese
Davies?
John Reese Davies. Yeah. How did I draw a blank on that name? That's like such a, like, how do you, I guess, you know what it was? Because we did Jonathan Rhys Meyers. And I think that's still, you get those. But yeah, John Reese Davies plays Kingpin. He's not bad.
That's amazing.
If they did a TV show, they had turned that into a TV show, he would have been I think he would have been
That's some really interesting casting. Yeah. Did not know that.
Yeah. So
he kind of half pulled it off.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen it. I haven't seen it forever. So it's actually on streamers. It's on like Pluto, Plex. I think it might actually be on Tubi as well.
Pluto.
Yeah. So Oh, yeah, Pluto and Plex are the two, and then Prime has it to rent. So, but you can see it
Oh
free
yeah,
on.
I read nothing.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
know. I'm trying to be not to be a cheapo, but I actually have a weird thing where I don't actually pay for any streamers.
Right. That's
It's
not a
like,
bad deal.
yeah, it's like for some reason I don't have to pay for any streamers. Like, oh, okay, well, then I'll just. The only thing I just don't have is Peacock.
Yeah.
I can live about that.
Yeah.
Um,
So like for us, it's like, yeah, I think the ones that we pay for we pay for a good chunk of them. I don't know if we're going to do Apple TV because of the baseball season. We might do that one because then I might
oh,
finally watch.
baseball's on Apple TV.
It is every Friday. Yeah, there's one game that's only on Apple TV.
Of
So
course, they're doing that now.
yeah,
Remember when the Atlanta Braves were just on TBS all day?
yes.
It's like,
Yeah, and it's like this weird thing because you now have like these Braves fans all over the country. Like I know, Rich Pierce that you guys have on your podcast.
yeah.
He has posted a few times about being a Braves fan. He's from Las Vegas, and I think that's part of it. Is that like people who lived in cities that didn't have a team, they became Braves fans because they were on TBS. So yeah, I know the other channels WGN, but not as many people got. Like I remember I didn't get WGN until I went to college at UMaine. They had it.
Right, WGN. That's still around today. I'm getting these channels all kind of meshing together nowadays.
Right. That was like a Chicago. They had the Cubs, but I'm assuming it's still around in Chicago. I don't think it turned into a national channel the way TBS did, where like TBS is now. It's completely a national cable channel.
Because now I don't hear about Chicago. I hear about this new Pope dude,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, and it's like, so he has a Chicago accent. I hope it'd be kind of funny.
Right. Exactly.
It's
Right.
like, it's like, I haven't really checked in on the Pope. Just
No.
I heard about it last week, and I've been kind of busy. So
Well,
it's like,
what we missed out on, was there was another guy in the running for it whose last name was Pizzaballa, and
that's too perfect.
right? Can you imagine 30 years of Pizzaballa? I mean, if that's how
Yeah.
long you would, I don't know how old he was, but I mean,
That just sounds like a silly thing you say in a mobster movie. It's like, oh, get that pizza balla guy. It's like,
right? It's
hey,
like a
yo,
Family
what's going
Guy
on over
joke,
here?
right?
What's that?
It's like a Family Guy joke.
Exactly. That's a Family Guy joke. His last name's a Family Guy cutaway.
Right.
Pizza balla.
Exactly.
It's like, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so turning on to my Kingpin. Well, I think we talked about in the last podcast that I did finish Daredevil Born Again,
Oh,
or maybe I didn't.
I think yes, yeah. So
I thought it delivered, except for there's that stupid part. It's not really a spoiler, but let's just say there's a guard that's guarding Punisher. Like, you're dumb. Like, that guy was as dumb as the guy from Prometheus. It's like, oh, what's this face hugger thing that's evil? Oh, my face.
Right.
Just like, which I think about and laugh every day about that.
Yeah.
It's like,
I've got to see Prometheus.
just watch that part. It's like,
yeah.
The movie itself is. I mean, I should rewatch it, but I remember like that hurt my brain. I was in the movie theater, so it's like my brain hurts for seeing that.
Well, wasn't the whole thing with Ridley Scott like the whole reason why he wanted to make those movies was because he wanted to delegitimize, or I guess as the kids would say, decanonize the Alien versus Predator movies because he hated the idea of them potentially being part of the Alien movies timeline.
Now maybe Alien vs. Predator doesn't look so bad compared to those.
I know. Well, at least I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Well, the second one, right, doesn't look like anything at all because it's so dark, so you can't.
I couldn't see a thing. It was like watching a blank screen. I hear a couple of noises.
Exactly.
Which gets to Aftermath in a minute.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Try to answer. Oh, I think so. You talk about what you've been watching, and then anything else about Kingpin? Oh, like he killed Ben Urich 5 seasons ago, but it's like, I'm when Liam Neeson, I'm Kingpin, but it's like, I was just.
Well, the best scene. One of the scenes I wasn't sure what you thought about. Like one of my favorite, him doing his Kingpin scenes is when he first becomes mayor and he's sitting behind the desk and he's like feeling the desk and he's like, do you think LaGuardia sat at this desk? Or he's like, how old do you think? And the woman who's like his number one assistant, she's like, I don't know. He's like, do you think LaGuardia sat at this desk?
LaGuardia. It's like Vanessa sat in this desk. I mean, Vanessa. It's like, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Ben Urich. So but wait, was that ever resolved? Remember, like there was like Kid Urich.
Right, that's so the niece is the one in the new movie.
Right. And
yeah.
then what does she know that Mr. Kingpin killed Ben in the show? I don't remember. I think she does know that, right?
They didn't. I don't know if they hinted. It's a good point. I can't remember if they hinted at it or if they
Yeah.
came out and said like I think he kind of because they talk about Ben Kingpin and her they talk about Ben York a little bit and I think she kind of hints at the fact that she knows, but I don't know. We'd have to find out.
I'll double check that. But yeah, that was an enjoyable program. I'll watch the next season.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
so too. I think the only thing about it, I don't know how you felt about this, but and for people listening, yeah, this is kind of a spoiler.
mm,
Is that there's two seasons, right? There's two seasons of this that they're doing, and
mm.
it's almost like instead of being two seasons because of the way they ended the first season, it's more like it's just one big season that they're splitting into two. If like they might as well just call it all one season, and just have like a big gap in the middle.
That's a better idea. It's one big super season.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's ahead for Disney Plus. I don't know. I don't know these numbers these days. They always hide the streaming numbers. I hear.
Yeah. Or Netflix always boosts them up. I mean, Thunderbolts is doing well, so my hunch is, it's interesting about something like Born Again because it, I'm wondering because I know Agatha All Along did well. People really like that one, but it is one of those things that Disney Plus has created this culture of like there's no sense of urgency, right? Like think about
Mm.
like for in your case for example, right? Like just recently saw Daredevil Born. It wasn't like you were like every Tuesday night. You're like, I gotta
No, I
watch
didn't. Yeah, I didn't. Sit down and watch it. I waited.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what happens with like I would miss a week and then just pick it up the next week, and so that's got to have a problem with the streaming numbers. But maybe they kind of just look at them overall. I don't know exactly how they pull it, but you're right. It's not the same as like the Super Bowl did 100 million people, right? Because it's like the Super Bowl's only on once at one time, and that's the only time people can watch it live is at that one moment.
But, something else I've been watching. Oh, the movie was Echoes in the Darkness, the Peter Boyle movie.
Oh, okay.
It was a TV movie I watched with Treat Williams on the little VCR I showed you, the little TV, and
Yes. Yeah, that was awesome.
it's yeah. So I did watch Ring of Fire 3 on that last night.
Yeah, what another beautiful one.
I love the old man, the machine gun.
Yeah.
Forget the old man, the sea. The old man, the machine gun.
Yes.
It's like that was great, and it blew up. It was like, wow, what an opening of a movie. It's like,
Well,
it's like,
because it's like that, right? It's the old man trying to shoot him with an Uzi, and then
yeah,
and then instead of taking the day off after dealing with all that, he just goes and starts working his rounds on the floor at the hospital because it makes sense. Doctors are so overworked at our certain
yeah,
for-profit hospital system. So while he's working, this guy on a motorcycle just drives onto the
yeah.
hospital floor, and he beats the crap out of that guy, and then puts him in the hospital, which he is like perfect for the for-profit hospital system because he's essentially injuring them and then getting their money.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's
The
perfect.
brilliant move by Johnny Woo or Doctor Johnny Woo.
Dr. Johnny Woo.
It's like that's great. And it was funny in the beginning before the movie started. There was like a little pop up by Don the Dragon saying, "Hi, thank you for renting my movie Ring of Fire 3. Don't forget to watch Challenge of the Dragon."
God,
And then
that's so beautiful.
isn't that
It's
great?
on
It's like
VHS,
it's
right?
very green screen. He's very green screen into the PM logo, but it's kind of funny.
Yes.
And he does go in one of the fight scenes. It's like yes, it's like, it's like I wait for that patiently. But it was probably get to our movies, I assume.
Yeah. Well, so our two movies are we're doing Aftermath with Dylan Sprouse, which is on Netflix, and then we've got Armor. So we're gonna do Aftermath
Yeah,
first, just because we're kind of looking at it, we don't have much to chat about. And then our spotlight and a fight this week is the Double Team
yes.
End Fight, which is just a ton of fun, a ton of stuff to
Oh,
talk
isn't
about
it
there.
great?
Yeah,
I just rewatched this afternoon. It was perfect.
it's
But it's
beautiful, isn't
like,
it? Yeah.
yeah, a classic '90s great fight by Van Damme. Just kidding, Van Damme and Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke.
I just watched Mickey Rourke. Oh, I just watched Mickey Rourke in a movie today, which was Take Back.
Oh,
The
nice.
one
How
with
was
Michael.
that?
Did you watch it? You didn't watch it yet?
I haven't seen it, so that's probably my next Michael Jai White to watch. Is either
It
that one or
wasn't
the
that
Never
bad.
Surrender one. It's okay.
You
It's
you can tell it's trying. It's not perfect, obviously. There's some flaws here and there, but
uh,
you can see it's trying its hardest to be a good movie.
yeah, and I think did Christian Sesma direct that one? I think
He did, yes.
yeah. So that's
He
a
did
name we've
Lights
seen
Out,
come up
right?
here a couple times.
Yeah, he did Lights Out, and he did something else, right?
Yeah. Oh, what wasn't there another one that we did of his? Maybe not. Maybe we only done Lights Out from his.
I was convinced he did one more.
Yeah, that's a good question. Was it that one? Or was that a Daniel Zerilli? The one that
Oh, maybe it was early.
Yeah, that
Oh,
had
Section 8. We talked about Section 8.
right, Section 8. And that one was in Sesma. Yeah, I
So
think
that was.
was Christian Sesma?
Yeah, Christensen directed Lights Out and Section 8 and
Oh,
Take
okay.
Back and Pay Dirt.
Yeah, Pay Dirt. Yeah, because Pay Dirt I did an episode with Francis Rizzo III, who does the Kilmer cast.
I feel bad for his podcast.
I
So,
know, I know. Yeah, so it's yeah,
like,
that was because that had Val Kilmer. And, when you watch Pay Dirt, you can see he wasn't really in the best shape. He did some scenes with his daughter, and I think that was a big part of it. So yeah, Section 8. I completely forgot. That's the one, right? That's the big one that we did.
that's with not Clive
Adolph.
Standen, the other guy. It's
Oh,
kind of
Quandon.
Quandon,
Quandon,
yeah, Ryan
yes,
Quandon.
yeah,
Very briefly, Dolph Lundgren,
right,
and then
exactly.
very briefly Scott Adkins, and
Right.
very briefly Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, but then the star of that one was the Dermot Mulrooney with the
Yes,
yes, oh man, with
that
the
was the
mustache and the
start.
gray beard. Yeah,
Oh, that was so great. He had like a bow tie. It's like, what a movie. And then
yeah,
it's like, wow, we're on the Dermot Mulrooney train. Just
right.
like, and then he was on fire with that and the Get Back.
Yeah. Well, and you know what's funny? We actually, John Cross on the PM podcast, he interviewed Art Camacho on the I think he interviewed him on the A Dangerous Place episode.
Oh, I gotta listen back to his episodes. The
Yeah,
one, even the one we did,
right.
Brent and I did.
Oh, that was a great one too. Yeah, because that sweeper one is great because Spiro Rosados is on that one as well. So
That's
it's like,
amazing.
yeah, there are a few like action sequences you guys talk about, and then it plays the interview where he's asking Spiro
Oh,
Rosados.
that's how he does it. Okay, I need
Yeah,
to listen back.
yeah, you got to
But
check it out. But yeah, our Camacho was on, and he talked about for Ruthless, he trained Dermot Mulrooney to do all the fights. So it is again kind of a missed opportunity that we didn't get a full on Ruthless if our
I
Camacho was
know
training him. Oh,
I know. All
yeah,
Dermot did was break a bunch of fake David Arquette arms,
right,
and just like,
exactly.
just like if you, as the kids say, if you know, you know.
Yeah,
But just like, is that what kids say today?
they do. No, they say IKYKY.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, was it
right.
IYKYK,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
No, you know, yeah,
IKYYK. Yeah, it's
yeah.
like so. Like if IKYY, if you know, you know about
Right.
fake David Arquette arms,
Right,
you'll love
exactly,
Ruthless.
exactly. I
So
might have some good. I'm going to a Mets game this week, and of course,
oh,
for
nice.
people listening to this, like by the time this episode comes out, I'll have gone to that episode weeks ago. But we'll see if I get some more good that these darn kids for the next because they sometimes do this game at games where they have like an older person and a kid. And the kid will say some slang terms, and the older person
Oh
has to say what
no.
the slang is. So, yeah,
Oh,
that was how I learned
I
about
mean,
Skibbity Toilet. Was
oh
from
yeah, Skibidi Toilet. I guess they're making the Skibidi Toilet movie soon. I think Michael Bay is going to produce it. It's
right,
just like,
of course,
so who's going to play the toilet? I mean, like now we're getting to some mild toilet humor, but it's like,
right.
I guess this is a springboard for impressions. But it's like, I'm Skibidi Toilet. It's like, you Dolph Lundgren, I'm the Skibidi Toilet. And Liam Neeson.
I think Liam Neeson. Yeah, I think I need a
Yeah.
Liam Neeson. The Dolph one is great because Dolph, he does a lot of voice work now. He was in the Minions movie. He did that SEAL team.
Right.
You know,
I never watched the SEAL team. Is he in it a lot as a
no,
voice
he's
or
crazy
God
because it's
doing it?
voice work and he's still barely in it. It's a shame.
Of course.
Yeah.
And it's or Stallone, let's go to it.
See, I think Stallone wouldn't do it. He would be like,
No.
you know. Whereas I think like Neeson or Dolph would see the humor in it and they would do it.
Yeah, I think Neeson would see the humor because now there's that Naked Gun movie that's coming out. That could be funny. I mean, I saw the teaser.
Yeah,
Not sure it would work onto the theater, but I might be able to see it for free.
yeah.
Got
Well,
some free tickets. I don't have like special tickets to see it. I just have free tickets in the theater. Like,
yeah, I had a gift card from my sister brother-in-law. That's how I was able to see
oh, nice.
Thunderbolts. So that was it's one of those things where I don't get to the theater enough, but also too like because with the gift cards from Fandango, you've got to like buy them on your phone in advance and
Oh,
then
okay.
load them or like I guess like
Right.
go
I
to your
did that
phone when you get there.
once.
Yeah.
I hate to even say this, but I did it about 9 years ago because I went to go see The Revenant You know,
Oh yes.
2015 or 2016 it came to more wide release,
Yeah.
and I should have got an extra seat because there was this lady going oh because she was like it was too intense for this older lady,
Oh,
which is
geez.
fine.
Yeah.
So okay, fine. Next time I go to the theater, I'm getting two seats. No one bothers me.
Yeah.
So I went to go see Deadpool. I had two seats, and just like so no one bothered me.
Oh, that's not a bad deal. See, what I do is I do early morning matinees, and so
Mhm.
that's how when I did Thunderbolts, it was a 9:30 a.m. matinee. The only issue we ran into is that the cleaning crew the night before didn't clean out the theater when the last
Oh,
showings were over,
of
so
course.
the morning crew had to scramble to get it clean in time for our showing. But I think there was like 15 people there, and so yeah, it wasn't a bad deal. I mean, yes, I'm eating popcorn and drinking soda at 9:30, 10 in the morning, but you know, it's
Well, I know. I tried to get a Mike's Hard Lemonade all those years ago. I think I told that
that's right.
story a million
Yes.
times. And it's like you could get it. It's like fine, I won't be a drunk today, which
Right.
I'm not. It's
Right.
just like,
But yeah,
or am
sometimes
I?
so the only reason why I wouldn't want to do a drink for a movie is like when I'm watching it at home, it's great because I can just pause it and if I have to hit the restroom. But in
Right.
in the movie, it's like it's like man, at some point you're gonna have to hit the restroom, and it's like
Yeah, that's the thing. I well, rolled the dice. Oh, I didn't get it because the guy was being very judgy. But it's like
right,
I was
which
trying to watch that Owen Wilson movie. Wow, you know, which is no escape.
yeah.
Um, but we should probably talk about Aftermath.
Yeah, well, we'll get so Aftermath. It stars who we've been lovingly calling Dylan Sprouse.
Yeah,
Dylan Sprouse, you may remember from Big Daddy as a
right.
kid. He and
As a
his
kid, or
brother, his twin brother. Yeah,
Cole Sprouse.
Cole Sprouse.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so um, it's the movie itself. It's on Netflix. It's actually short for a Netflix movie. It's only an hour and 28 minutes, which again is like about 4 minutes of credit. So it says 137 on IMDb.
I
It's
think it
not quite
did.
that long. Yeah,
Well,
it's
also Dylan Sprouse is on Riverdale for all those seasons. People who ever watch that show.
that's a good point. Yeah, which
Yeah,
character does he play on that?
Jughead.
Oh, he's Jughead. Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, so he's like emo Jughead. And he has well, we'll talk about
Yeah,
Dylan Sprouse's voice shortly, but just like we'll just say monotone. So
right.
it's like it was hilariously monotone. Which I was like, oh right, I was like, I'm going back to Riverdale, but I'll go to my notes. We'll read the plot or you
Yeah,
have
so
the
the
plot.
plot is that Dylan Sprouse, he's in his truck with his sister Maddie, who wants to be called Madeline, who is he letting her drive, learning her drive, and they're driving over the Tobin Bridge in Boston, Massachusetts, and they actually film establishing shots, and they actually film the whole movie in the Boston area. I don't think they obviously don't blow up the Tobin Bridge, but that's what happens. While they're on the bus, there's a prisoner being transported, and she's going to be testifying against these soldiers the next day. So the soldiers blow up the middle of the Tobin Bridge to isolate a bunch of cars, including this van, or there's this police truck that's taking her to another place, that whatever, and everybody else is being held hostage. All the other cars that are stuck on the Tobin, they're being held hostage, including Dylan Sprouse and his sister Madeline. Turns out Dylan Sprouse was a former Army Ranger, so he just kind of goes in Die Hard style and picks them all off, and yeah, everybody lives happily ever after.
Well, I liked the movie, but there was a flaw,
Yes.
and the flaw was it's very dark looking.
Yeah.
It was hard to see in the movie a good portion of time,
Yeah.
and that hurt it a lot. But I thought it kind of I enjoyed the movie. Well, what did you think? I mean, like,
Yeah, I thought it was solid enough. I think
yeah,
that's maybe the biggest thing is it's a solid enough movie. I think.
right, yeah. It kept moving, and like
Yeah,
it kept your interest.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't do any, like you said. The most egregious thing it does is that whole washed out film, dark film
Yeah,
thing, where it's hard to see. I think again they were trying to play fast and loose with the fact that obviously they weren't on the Tobin, and they were trying to make it, you know, uh, they didn't do a lot of shots of people hanging either, right? They only did a couple of those. They didn't do a lot of shots of things falling into the water. They only do a couple of those too.
a
So
couple of those you could tell.
yeah, so they definitely were using this darker lighting as a way to get away with some things. But again, like you said, I mean, this seems to be a Netflix problem though too, doesn't it? It seems like a lot of these Netflix movies are darker than they need to be.
Yeah, to turn on some lights. I feel like if this movie had some lights, I would like it a lot more.
Yeah,
Just, but well, here are my notes.
yeah,
which is actually there's not many notes here, but I thought it was like Mothman Prophecies. Remember that scene on the bridge?
Oh,
It's like
yes.
meets Die Hard, so it's kind of interesting. And then did someone? Hopefully this wasn't a song. I should have wrote this better notes. But the Ricochet of Rage.
Yeah, I think that was
That
what
was
it was, something like that. Yeah.
was that a song or someone said that to someone? Now I forgot because I saw it so long ago now.
No, I think that was the song. I think that was yeah. Where
I
is
think it's
this?
kind of Cornish, corny, or like corn, right? Or
Yeah, it's interesting for some reason. There's no soundtrack information on here.
of course, of course.
Yeah,
Didn't say soundtrack on Dylan Sprouse records. It's
right.
like
Because there's three songs in this. There was the opening song. There was that the one you mentioned. There's a song at the end for the end credits, and yeah, they don't show any of that. So or they don't list any of it, which doesn't make any
because
sense.
I wish it did have the soundtrack because this movie was directed by the guy who made Dracula 2000.
Yeah.
So and I had also the classic new metal soundtrack of Monster Magnet and all that stuff, and like Gerard Butler's loving Monster Magnet in that movie or something like that. If you ever watched Dracula 2000,
Oh yes, yeah, a long time ago.
it's
Yeah,
a
that was a good
classic.
one. Yeah.
It's definitely worth watching now because it's like you watch it now, it's like I hate to even say it's 25 years later, but it feels recent. You know,
Yeah.
and you got vitamin C.
Mm-hmm. Which you have to. You have to. Yeah.
Yeah, you got your vitamin C, you got your Gerard Butler, you got your Omar Epps, and your Christopher Plummer. Which I was making a joke to Brett the other day, like, we were talking about Super Mario Brothers, as you do, the movie.
As you do, right? Yes.
Forget Bob Hoskins. They should have got Christopher Plummer to be Mario because his last name is perfect.
Would have been beautiful. And the thing is,
Yeah.
he's such a professional actor that he would have killed that. It would have been.
I know.
Yeah.
I like to see him with like a kind of an Italian-esque mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Plummer as Mario. Because I'm also looking at the special DVD or Blu-ray I have. Oh dear, I just dropped it.
Yeah.
But it's the DVD or Blu-ray I found. It has the work print.
Mm-hmm.
It has 20 minutes of more footage.
Oh, nice, nice.
I need to watch it. It's like the movie's so silly, What was saying? Oh, yeah, Sprouse. Yeah, I like Sprouse as the actor. I think he kind of pulled it off.
Mm-hmm.
When he had that awesome kind of machine gun, he was like shooting over the cars.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that was good. That was a good scene for him. It's like because I thought I really delivered the fun. And I think I would give him another chance as another action movie if he was in it.
Yeah, totally agree there. I think, out of all of these names, I think one of the things about this movie, I think it's a little different from like a lot of the Bruce Willis ones we watch that have people like, Jesse Metcalf, Chad Michael
Jesse
Murray,
Bradford.
Jesse Bradford, all of those names, is that this movie doesn't have like a big name that Dylan Sprouse is doing the heavy lifting for.
That's true. It's just Sprouster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Sprouse.
But I think, I think he's one that, I think kind of looking at this new crop of names, you've got like a Chad Michael Collins, I think is maybe like the number one out of that new crop with the Sniper series. And, Adkins obviously is he's a little older, but he's Adkins. I think as you're starting to look at new guys to bring in here, Sprouse is someone that he can do these movies. I think I think
he kind of delivered on some of the action. So like, okay, this is good. This is good for us.
Yeah.
Because if Dolph he's not making anything right now. He's making like hard liquor stuff. Maybe see that on his
I've seen this vodka.
I'm very thirsty with my liquor.
I'll see if I can do it with my Dolph. Yeah, let's see if I can.
You want to do it?
Let's see. Yeah, the highest quality vodka that you can get. Yeah. Don't wait for me. Yeah.
Perfect. That's perfect. Dolph's Hard Lemonade. I wish it was called that. I would probably buy like 15 cases.
Oh yeah, you, like if there was a Dolph's Hard Lemon, because that's the thing too. I think his vodka doesn't have his name on it, does it? Or it's
no, I don't know if it does. Yeah, but it's like that'd be just fun to say.
I would love it if it was like Dolph's Hard Lemonade, because I would buy a bottle just to keep like on my desk with my computer, just to just like never drink it, just always have it there. I meant to do that with Seagal's energy drink. Somebody
lightning bolt
Seagal energy drink, and I lost it. I don't know what happened to it.
Oh, you lost? I could never find Green Day. They said it was at Walmart
That's
when
what
it
my
was
friends got.
around.
Yeah, they got me a bottle. This was way back in like the late 2000s. They got me a bottle
Yeah,
of
I
it.
looked
Well, they got me
for it.
two. They got me two. I drank it. Now, what it tastes like is like if you had like seltzer and you put sugar-free Smarties in a seltzer.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, that's how bad it is. It's that.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
it
Because
was
supposed to
rough.
have goji berries or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
supposed to have goji berries. And it's like so you were submerged with Smarties, and today you die from it.
right,
and you're connected. You're under siege from
right,
sugar
right. Yes.
in a dark territory. You can keep going. You can do any title.
Oh yeah.
It's like-
No. I mean, it was definitely deadly ground. When you're tasting it. Yeah.
So that I think that is his best movie. I don't think. Oh no, we should probably think Above the Law, but
Yeah.
On Deadly Ground is probably his best movie in quotes.
Right.
Because,
It-
wow.
Right. You're right. Like when you look at like those early like 4 or 5 that he did that are
Yeah.
like, you just watch those with your friends and you just like fist pump the whole time and all that stuff.
Yep, exactly.
On Deadly Ground is more like the one where you and your friends get together and you're just like, what are we gonna do? Let's just have fun.
What are we gonna
with this
do?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great point. See, everyone just talks about the first 4 or 5. Let's talk about the other ones.
Yeah.
Like, what's another one that people would kind of hoot and holler? Would it be like, Mercenary for Justice or Submerged or Today You Diet?
Right.
It's like which I rewatched a year ago. I think I sent you the pictures of that, right?
Oh yes.
Where
Yeah.
it's going out of business. It's like, why would a children's orphanage go out of business? It's like, why is he hugging Chloe Moretz? Why is he punching Randy Couture really terribly?
Yeah.
It's so terrible. Oh, it's so terrible.
Yeah.
But funny.
Right.
And then who's in that? It's Tretch.
Yes. Yeah. Good old Tretch. Yeah.
Yeah, he loved those rappers. Wait, Tretch was in not Bone Thugs and Harmony.
No,
he
Naughty
was
by
in the other-
Nature.
Naughty by Nature. Thank you. Yeah. Well, Busy Bone and Lazy Bone. He was in that movie we watched, that Punch Fighter. No Rules. It's really hard to find.
Yeah.
It also has Randy Couture. Really weird movie.
You have to check that one out.
Very briefly, Pamela Anderson, Gary Busey, and Tom Sizemore.
Nice.
It's just like
Nice.
I miss Tom Sizemore.
Yeah.
Why does he have to be gone?
I
But
know.
he's made some interesting stuff before he died.
Mhm.
I mean, like, I haven't really caught up with all of his weird movies.
No, he's another one that you could do a month of his movies. I didn't
For
realize
sure.
Dolph is one you could do a month of Dolph movies on Tubi. He has
That's
over
really-
30
that's
movies
great.
on Tubi. Yeah.
I still need to watch Legendary. All right, okay. I'm gonna say it on record, so I'll remember. I promise I'll watch Legendary
Yeah.
in the next 2 months.
It's again, I don't know how good how much it's just overall it's a movie that you need to check off for your
My
Dolph,
completist.
your Adkins
Yeah.
lists. Yeah, exactly.
I know. I just kind of forgot about it. All those. I hate to say it. Did that come out in 2010? It's just like
Yeah,
2013 or something like
The
that.
funny thing about that one was that was the last movie I reviewed before I went on my unplanned hiatus for like 4 or 5 years. And so
Wow.
anytime people would come back to check and see if I was posting again on the site, they would see Legendary. So it became one of my most viewed posts for like because of that, because people just kept coming back to see that one. But yeah, it's Dolph and it's Adkins.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to watch it. Maybe I usually do like a streaming day when I do all like my dog sits and cat sits and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll kick it to that, and that'll help you.
Yeah, it's when you got I think it's like one of those ones like I know that there's some on my slate, from talking with you and Ty, or sorry, you and Brett, you're Ty, you and Brett.
I do that bit too. Like you're mad.
Right,
It's like-
exactly. But yeah, there's some that like you have to watch those that are on my you have to watch list, and I think Legendary is one that, like, again, I'm not saying you have to watch it because it's like this amazing movie, but because it's just a good one to check off your Dolph
I need to
list.
do that.
Yeah.
And I also have a couple. I have 2 more notes. No, 3 more notes.
Yeah.
Which was someone. I think it was the bad guy. It was like it's like, we're gonna help you get under this hostage situation. Get me someone who does.
Right.
I always like when people say that.
Yeah.
And then his voice is funny. Sprouse. It's like, I'm going to find you. I forget the sister's name. What was her name?
Oh, Maddie. Well, Maddie /
Maddie.
Madeline.
Oh, Madeline. Hold on. Because he acts like that on Riverdale.
Mhm.
So it's really funny to watch it in like a serious action movie. Nope, not much of a way of inflection of voice.
Right.
which makes it funny. I mean, it's like, and then I thought the fight scene between the bad guy and Mr. Sprouts was pretty good at the end.
I agree. I agree completely.
That was solid.
Yeah, they did really great stuff with that. I think one of the things I think about the fight scene that what I liked was that, we know that, Dylan Sprouse's character is probably not as good as the baddie who was played by Mason Gooding.
Right.
We know that character, the Mason Gooding character, is probably a better fighter, better hand-to-hand guy. And what Sprouse does, I think, or with the way the movie resolves that is, it's Sprouse kind of loses to him,
Yeah.
but then he finds his own way to get him at the end, where you think like all hope is lost, and he
Right. I always like that bit too. So it's like, oh, an all hope is lost fight. Okay.
yeah. I mean, to your point, like this is probably a 3 to 3.5 star movie if you can see everything clearly.
Yes, I would love to give it 3. I would out of 5 out of Letterboxd, I would give it almost a hard 3.5 if I saw everything that was going on.
Yes, yeah.
It's like, and I would recommend it to people. Kind of like Swept Away. Like I would recommend to people if we can sit through the first 45 minutes, which no one can, I guess.
Right.
So no, I made it.
I mean, the other thing about this that I give it credit for is it takes place in Boston, and they actually film, like they shoot the Tobin Bridge, but also they film in nearby Weymouth. They film in Boston, which filming in Massachusetts is not cheap. It's a more expensive place. That's why a lot of times they film in Montreal and call it Boston.
Of course,
in Bulgaria, right? They film in Sofia.
Bulgaria, yeah, you have a Boston bookstore, right?
Right, exactly, Boston, exactly. And this one doesn't do that. I mean, it's obviously like it was kind of funny because when I was watching it, I was like, boy, these parts of Bulgaria, they did a good job of making this Bulgaria look like Boston. I looked it up online. I was like, no, it actually is Boston. These are
actually looked like it was Boston. Like, oh, not Bulgaria.
Right. Yeah. And so so the fact that they filmed in Boston, I think is really cool. I mean, the one thing that annoyed me was the fact that because the baddies blow up the Tobin Bridge, I mean, just from my own experience, I've never really commuted to Boston except for I was doing a English teaching class down in Boston one time, and so it was like every day for like 5 days a week for like a month. I was commuting down there, taking a bus from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and we would use the Tobin. We would take the Tobin, and it's like the idea of that. I mean, like everybody being stuck having to take like the Ted Williams Tunnel. God, what a mess! What a mess that would do to traffic in Boston if you blew up the Tobin. So just that alone made me want to see this baddie get his comeuppance.
That's funny, see, because you're a Boston, guy.
Right.
So it's like that's perfect for you.
Right.
As a Connecticut, Connecticut. Is that what we are? It's just like I should know that by now, but it's like I guess if they blew up the Merritt Parkway, I guess I was like, oh no, not the Merritt Parkway. That's like art. It's like my Merritt Parkway is your Tobin Bridge, right? It's like, or the Q Bridge. We have something called the Q Bridge.
Well, yeah, because it was. I grew up a little bit north of Boston, so like my bridge, the one that would kill, it's this big bridge called the Piscataqua River Bridge. It's a highway bridge, and the thing about that bridge is that it's the one that goes on 95, and all the tourists take it, right? And so for all the locals, there's 2 other bridges that are smaller. There's the Memorial Bridge and then the Sarah Mildred Long or whatever, But if somebody blew up the Piscataqua Bridge, all the tourists would take the side streets, and it would just completely inundate all the
oh my God, what a mess.
Yeah. So but it was funny. I was thinking when you mentioned with the Merritt Parkway, somebody blew that up. Like just imagining one of those signs, like the exit signs with like the little triangles on it.
Yes.
Imagine one of those going flying somewhere and like maybe
I can
totally
totally see that.
Yeah.
Because that's funny. I mean, like, they could just blow up other parts of Connecticut and Boston. Like, oh, look at that.
Exactly. Right. Get into Springfield. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think of like because one other thing, when I take the train through Connecticut, there's New London has some nice bridges.
New London. So you kind of go past you train past New London.
Exactly. Yeah. It's got a nice train stop, and it's got then like you could get off there, I guess, and take the ferry to Long Island if you want to.
Yes. Yeah. The ferry.
Yeah.
It's like, what's it called? I'm like, my brain doesn't work right now. These Block Island.
Block Island. That's yes. Yeah. Because there's this YouTuber I follow. His name's called Miles in Transit. This kid who's he's from Worcester, Mass, but he for a while like he lived here in the Northeast, and he would do all these like kind of funny travel challenges, but they would actually kind of show like some of the limitations of transit. But one of the ones he did was he took uh he was in New York, and instead of going like, like uh I guess what he did was he was at Grand Central Station, and instead of, I guess he could have gone down one floor to go to where this other stop was. He took the Metro North all the way up to Connecticut, and then took the ferry all the way to Long Island, and then took a Long Island Railroad train all the way to New York to like, and it was like this big mess because he had like a whole bunch of his friends with him when he did it, and they were all like, they missed their bus connections and things like that. So
Oh
they had to
wow,
get a whole,
really?
but it
What
was
a
like, it was just kind
mess.
of like this funny thing of like, yeah, you can go down one floor to just get, to go to this thing, or you could go all the way around, and then it like shows all the limitations of the different travel steps that you could take all those ways. So yeah, but it was kind of fun. That's kind of one of the ways I had to experience seeing the ferry going, yeah, from Connecticut to like you said, the Block Island, or yeah, Long Island, those kind of things.
But yeah, I guess I would kind of half recommend this movie if you can endure the darkness.
Yeah.
That could be a title.
I mean, I'm gonna say, like, you just go on IMDb. I mean, I'm looking at the pictures on IMDb, and it's like evident, like they didn't really like dress these pictures up on IMDb. It's so this is like not us just being like, oh, we've got a bad TV or something.
Yeah,
Like
I have
this
a
is a
decent
real thing.
TV
Yeah,
because I could check on another TV, but I think it's going to be the same. I mean, like,
yeah,
um, that's the only, I would say, pretty big flaw. But besides that, it was enjoyable, and I would recommend it.
yeah. One other note I want to quickly make is
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
the first baddie who gets killed by our hero, the character's name was Tango. That was the name they gave him, played by Tanner Zagarino, Frank Zagarino's son. So
I did not know that. That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. I just happened to see when I was looking through the names on here that, yeah, Tanner Zagarino, he played Tango. I remember the main the hero kills Tango and then like takes his radio and pretends to be Tango for a
I
little bit.
think that to come back to me because I've watched this about a month ago plus.
Yeah,
Because the second
you
we
don't
talk
really
about the
see
next
him.
movie, I watch him.
You don't really see him. He's got a mask on. He gets killed, and then he kind of like, you see him like, remember when you see him like gurgling before he dies,
Yeah,
and he's like upside down. His face is upside down, so you don't really get a good shot of him. So yeah, but that's
yeah, that's going
one
to be
other
hard to
note
get
about this.
shots when you do the post for the podcast itself. You might have to just use armor.
Yeah, I'll probably get a good Stallone shot. I think that's
Yeah,
what we'll do for that, because when we get into this next movie here with Stallone, I'll just say quickly for myself. I also, yeah, I think Aftermath is like, if you're looking for things on Netflix, this could work. This would do the
yeah,
trick.
good work. It's a good less than 90 minutes.
Yeah,
You basically care,
yeah,
and yeah, I've expressed did a solid job.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's
overall, recommend.
not gonna blow your way, but
No, no,
it's a fun actioner that'll kill time for you.
it kind of needed that because I watched it second after Armor.
Okay.
Uh,
Same here.
so
I did Armor first as well. So
yeah,
yeah, but why don't we transition then? We'll transition into
we'll go
Armor.
right to Armor.
Yeah. So I mean, Armor, I mean, it's a Randall Emmett film.
Yeah,
It's a Randall Scandal, as we
Randall
say.
Scandal. Yeah,
The idea is that Jason Patrick is this jerk of a father who's also an alcoholic, and like he goes to AA meetings with like a flask of like
yeah, he has a thermos full of vodka.
there was full of vodka while he's at the AA meetings talking about, so he and his son Casey, they have like an armored car job where they go to like banks and stuff. They bring things over in the armored car, and the son Casey wants to like get into a big tussle or whatever, but Jason Patrick's like, it's probably not a good idea. But anyway, they go to pick up these cases at a bank, and the bank manager is definitely a creep. I mean, he's got like what has he got, like
Was a total jerk ass.
yeah, he's got like the hair that's like shaved, and then like it's a little bit longer with a little tiny ponytail in the back. Which, yeah, what a mess. But anyway, when Patrick goes to pick up the stuff, he's like, "Hey, we don't have anything on the requisition for this case here." And he's like, "Well, if you don't take it, I'm going to tell your boss that you got thrown off the force for drinking. How do you like that?" And Patrick's like, "Well, yeah, I guess I don't like that, so I'll take the case." And so he does, and it turns out that case has gold in it, and Sylvester
Them gold in
Stallone,
them cases.
there's some gold in them their cases, and so Stallone with his crack team, they pin they essentially chase down the armored car, and they hem it in the on a bridge. So we're on a bridge again with another
Back to the
armored car.
bridges.
Yeah, we're back on the bridge, and there's a standoff, and that's it. That's the movie. It's a standoff.
Yeah.
And eventually, our hero wins. I mean, we've got a lot to unpack with this movie, don't we?
Yeah, but you want to, because there's a huge plot hole at the end of the movie.
The plot hole at the end. I mean,
Oh my
there's
God.
padding. I mean, so here's something I wanted to mention to you. So, because
Please.
we're talking about like things kids say, right? And one of the more popular terms now is meta, right? Something is meta, and this movie had a ton of padding in it, and technically, padding is a form of armor. So, is that like a meta thing that like they made a movie called Armor with a lot of padding in it, and it's like an artistic statement?
I think that you're thinking way too much. That's way too clever for them.
Right.
And just like,
Right.
I think they just need to make a movie in a day
Yeah.
for like a tax reason or something.
Exactly. I mean, this movie has enough material for like a CSI episode that had like 3 other plots going on at the same time, right? Like
exactly. Yeah, this is a C plot episode.
right. This is exactly. This is going on the side while what's his face? Why can't I think of his name?
William Peterson.
I was thinking of the NYPD Blue guy for some. I couldn't think of his name.
David Caruso.
David Caruso. Yeah. How did I forget that name? I see this redhead. And I can't think of Caruso, the scene buttoner, right? Every time something would end, he'd put on his sunglasses, just like,
looks like this case, it just got cold. Oh,
right. They put sunglasses on, and then they go to commercial. I mean, I don't think Caruso would be the one pinned down, right? It would be somebody else, like Jared.
It'd probably be like I can't believe I'm going to say this, but it's probably going to be like Candy Alexander. I should know these people's or the other actor's name, or George Eads or whatever.
George Eads. That's I said Jared because he looks more like a Jared than a George, doesn't he?
George Eads. I say his name directly. Heard it out loud.
Eads. I don't. Yeah.
It would be a George Eads C plot episode,
right? And I mean, even the location here in Alabama is perfect for filming to make it look like some out of the way part of Miami. So essentially, Randall Emmett must have had his script for a CSI episode rejected, and he decided to try to make a movie out of it. So actually, he's not listed as a writer here. He's not listed as a writer or director. I thought this was all his thing. I know he.
Well, I think they're hiding it.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't direct. It wasn't secretly directed by Ives. Just like
right. Yeah. Right. We did an Ives. Was Cash Out an Ives?
Cash Out was Ives, but see, Randall Scandal. I'm onto you, sir.
Right.
I do follow you on Instagram, but your middle name is like Ives or Ivington or something. It's like, I got you. Yeah. I know your name.
Yeah. Because he is listed as a producer on this, but
okay, of course.
But I thought I had seen. This is a weird thing because also too, like on IMDb, they don't list the stunt coordinator or assistant stunt coordinator. So I think Tim Bell was the assistant one. I think Andy Dillon was the stunt coordinator. And they've both done some stuff, to recognize, but they aren't listed on IMDb, but when you watch the credits roll, they're there. So I think it's the other thing. This movie has like kind of fugazi crediting all around.
Yeah, that's a great segue into my notes, because unless you want to keep talking about the plot, I don't want to.
No. Let's jump into the notes. Yeah.
Well, we got the Bond Media logo. I love seeing that beach.
Yes, nice and calming before you get into a movie that's going to put you to sleep anyway.
Oh my goodness, they almost did. Yeah. But it starts with that radio station. It's like, heist in the news. I heard this on Tic Tac. Now, was that supposed to be a joke, or is that supposed to be, or people these are like these morning zoo, like bonk, 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 Tic Tac, bonk.
Right. I think it's like a combination of they didn't have the rights to use TikTok, and they want to do the shock jock, calling it Tic Tac, like all these kids with their Tic Tac and their iPhone,
their Tic Tac and their
whatever,
their My Face and their Grandmasters,
exactly,
just like, and he said, shout out to Dino. Yeah. It's like, okay, so who's Dino? I like Dino.
Right. That's something like old PM movies used to do that so well, right? The shock jock at the beginning with the collars and the collars.
Yes, when they have the helicopter shots. It's like, well, what's going on in the news today? Senator Powell says.
Right. It used to be like this is just kind of like, okay, I think they did the same thing in Aftermath as well, though. They did like they're letting us know that one deck of the Tobin was closed, and but they didn't say it the way you would say it, like the way a Boston's news person would say it. They would say it with Boston speak. They'd be like, the upper deck of the Tobin is closed, so everybody's going to be stuck on the lower or however. Yeah, but same thing. It's like these sort of uncomfortable radio ones. We need what was the news today guy, right? Lenny.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah,
What was
from
his
Tough
name?
Turf. Yeah, was it Lenny?
Was it Lenny from News Today from Raisinette?
Yeah, from Raisinette's Tough Turf. Yeah.
What was it? With Tough Turf? No, it was
No. Oh, you lady something.
Lady
Tough Turf was one
Rider.
name for it, and then Lady Rider was another name.
Yeah, I forget the actual. Oh, Gang Turf or Turf War. Turf War.
Turf War. That's right. Turf War. The Tough Turf is a James Spader 80s movie, right?
Yes, I think he sings in that too. It's like,
right, exactly.
I'm just looking for my gang and looking for my gang.
Yeah,
it's
you're
like,
right. You're right. Tough Turf.
Mr. Blacklist
completely
himself.
forgot that. Yeah, Turf War. Yeah. But yeah, we had Letty, a News Today guy. That was just We need
I wonder if
him.
he's back in those sequels. Did we look that up already? I know we love talking about gang or Turf War. Could be the new Y
question. I think he must be. Yeah, which the sequels, right? The sequels that came out before the yeah. God, yeah.
All right, we gotta get back to those. We have to go back to raising that.
Yeah.
So let's see. Shout out to Dino. So, let's talk about Jason Patrick. As you know, I wouldn't wish this movie on my semi-enemy. That is Jason Patrick.
Yes.
It's like who I did meet at Horrorfest in September.
Well, I have an update on that story. If you want to tell what happened when you met him, when you met him, and then I'll tell the story. I'll tell the update on it.
Oh yeah, well, when I met him, he signed my Narc poster, but he wasn't really the nicest guy on the planet. It's just like he couldn't have done it fast enough. It's like, what's your name? Tyler. It's like, yeah. It's like great job. It's like $80 down the freaking drain. It's like, a little nicer, and Alex Winter could have been a little nicer too. I know I'm dropping some names, but it's like. I think he was right next to Jason Patrick. No, he was next to Billy Worth. So Billy Worth was like the positive energy guy, and then but that didn't rub off on Jason Patrick or Alex Winter.
So that's the thing. So I recently I go to the Supercuts to get my hair cut, and
nice.
There's this guy who's there who does a great job. Who I always go in at like early in the morning on a Saturday because he's usually there by himself, and he see me just do my hair. I don't like making an appointment because I don't know his name honestly. So he just goes.
Okay.
But he does a great job. So this past time, I had made the appointment for like 9 or the check-in thing for 9:30 in the morning. I got there at 9:15, thinking like, okay, that's fine because usually there's no one else there, so it's like whenever he can take me, he will. And I get there and there's this dude there who, he kind of he was an interesting looking cat. Like he had face tattoos and spiky hair and stuff. And that guy who cuts my hair normally, he says to the other guy, "Hey, are you ready to go now? Because if you want, you can take." And the guy's like, "Yeah, I'm ready to go." And I was like, "Uh-oh, this could be interesting, right?" So he's cutting my hair, and it seems like he's doing a good enough job. But he starts telling me about going to all of these things that you go to, the different the different conventions and stuff. And he's telling me this story about how he met Jason Patrick at one of these. I think it might have been out in Pittsburgh, but I'm not sure.
Okay, I think he was there. Yeah.
Yeah, and he said, "Oh, I told him it was my birthday, and he was the nicest guy. He did all this stuff." And I was like, "Well, I'm not going to tell him your experience, right? Because I'm just, I don't need to get into that whole thing." But he also did mention that Alex Winters was a jerk to him as well. So I guess Alex Winters kind of that would definitely tracks. But he was like saying how he wished me happy birthday, and he saw me later and wished me happy birthday again, all this stuff. And so he was telling me how great Jason Patrick was. Anyway, it was not the best haircut. Like it was one of those things like when I like in the mirror when I saw it after, I was like, okay, this looks good enough. I put my hat on. When I got home and watched, I was like, oh, he missed spots. He didn't, my wife's looking at the bike. She's like, oh, it's like it just kind of made sense, I guess, that the guy who had a good experience with Jason Patrick would also be bad at cutting people's hair.
So makes sense.
Yeah,
all that all tracks now.
Yeah. When I knew we were doing this movie, I was like, I'm saving that story because I was going to text you. I was going to message you about it on Instagram, but I was like, just the whole process of messaging all that seemed like it was going to be a lot. And I thought it would be perfect for the pod here. So.
That's perfect. And what's also perfect is that I guess he was in a rush to do your haircut.
He did. Yes, it was. It was. Yeah. I mean, the other thing that was funny was the guy that normally cuts my hair, he plays like kind of like 2000s, like late 2000s pop music and stuff on Spotify.
Oh, what was playing?
So what do you want from me? Adam Lanza?
Oh, Adam Lambert.
Adam Lambert, yeah. And the guy that cut my hair, he's like walking up to ring me up, and he goes, "This is how he talked the whole time." He's like, I really love those old songs. And I was like,
Oh
what?
no.
The old song? And he was just telling me how,
No.
what it was like growing up in the 90s and stuff like that. And he's like, I really love those old songs. And I'm like, this is not an old song.
What?
I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
what do you want from me? I think that's someone new. I actually heard it a lot, and it's perfect for the CVS or your Walgreens.
yes, it's a
It's like
CVS banger, as the kids
the
would say.
CVS banger, like, what do you want from me? It's like I just want to get some milk and
Yes,
some cat
right,
litter.
right. It's like,
It's like
just please, just fix this person's problem with their insurance and let me get in line so I can just pick up the prescription that I came in here
it's like,
for. Yeah,
what do you want from me? I just want to get some milk. It's
exactly.
like
Right, right.
stop yelling at me, Adam.
Yeah,
And it's like,
yeah. It's
any other
usually
songs you remember he was playing?
no, that one was the one that was really, really I remember because it's still in
Okay.
my head. Like I'll look at my haircut and be like trying to like fix it and make it look the way I want it to. I mean, I probably should have just gone and gotten a new haircut and I just somewhere else. But I because now I
Oh,
can
okay.
never trust that place again. Right now you can never go back.
Well, that's the thing. Now, like,
Yeah,
it's like now it's like super
right,
or cuts. It's
yeah,
just like I don't know.
right, exactly, right, exactly.
All the cuts.
Yeah.
Oh wait, back. Oh wait, so
Yes.
yeah,
Back to
I
Jason
wouldn't wish this on
Bourne.
my semi-enemy. Was my
Yeah.
note. Okay, so and then Patrick's son, he looks out like Christian Slater.
Mm.
Did you see did you agree with that? You kind
Yeah.
of like
A
Christian
young
Slater?
gleaming the cube, Christian
Yeah,
Slater.
I agree with you, Christian Slater.
Yeah.
Because every time I try to type in Christian Slater in my notes, it comes up as Slayer. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, cool, Christian Slayer.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. If he was in Slayer,
Yeah.
Christian Slater.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not doing the cons. Patricia Arquette's doing the cons. We're getting close.
Yeah.
She just popped up on some cons.
Oh, so
We're
if we can
right there.
get Slater there. Yeah, it's interesting because Slater, I feel like he would also have a large Star Trek contingent for that one scene he does in Star Trek 6 where he talks to Sulu.
I think he would make a lot of money on the con circuit.
Yeah,
I mean, like, oh my goodness, he would make a mad bank. I mean, like, I'd give him $100 to sign Pursuit and Hollow Man 2.
Yes.
Not True Romance or maybe Claim the Cube is a classic,
Yeah.
but just like have it on tape. But yeah, so Christian Slayer. Okay, so then let me jump into Sly. I play rook. Look, it's about chess. It's like love those chess metaphors, right, Matt?
Well, yes, yeah. Oh god, the rook and all that stuff.
Yeah, did he say rook to pawn 6? I admit I made it up, but it's like you're a pawn sacrifice. He didn't say that.
Right. Well, because he goes, he's like, oh, looks like we had a what piece would you be? And he goes, I'm the rook. And then Jason Patrick's like, you're more like the pawn. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. Because it's like I know it's supposed to be like writing that people would enjoy listening to, but I guess no, because like we've heard that kind of dialogue before of all these chess matches stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, of course, his name is Rook.
Right.
But see, Stallone, as you mentioned about his voice, Stallone's doing the kind of like like not as slurry. Did you notice that?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, his voice is still very much his iconic voice, but you're right.
Yeah.
It's not. It was much clearer, and he didn't say a lot. His character didn't have a lot of lines.
I know. We said it is unstable. I wrote down like almost all his dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing about this movie is it has a variety of forms of padding in it, right? It's got, I mean, we don't get any action until the first 25 minutes. So we've got like heavy duty opening padding. We get your classic flashback padding where we find out, which again, like all these Randall Emmett movies, the main character's wife dies in a car accident, and that's the same thing that happens here. None of it makes any sense though, right? So the whole idea is that Patrick, his wife, and his son, who is played by somebody else because it's supposed to happen in the past, they're going camping, but they're driving his squad car to go camping.
Yes.
And then some guy who sees that it's a squad car, like speeds out and cuts in front of him. And so then he pulls the guy over in the squad car. The parents, I mean, the back seat does not look like a squad car, right? There's no like, I mean, I don't know what any of that stuff was. And then, but the whole thing is that the wife dies because when he gets back in the car and they get ready to go, they get blindsided by a rig that doesn't see them in the road,
Well, and you don't see it either.
Right, exactly, right, exactly. Just shows up. So I mean, so you've got flashback padding, but then I mean, you've got like I was trying to think of like some of the other padding that we get in this movie. I mean, we get getting out of the so there's a moment in
Oh
the movie.
yes.
I mean, one of the best scenes is when they first get trapped on the bridge. The baddies led by Stallone, they just open fire on the thing. They're just like firing at it, and then Dash Mihok shoots a grenade, and it blows up the corner of the van and
Yeah, like it blows
causes it to
up. Like
fall
it looks like
over.
it blows up the whole truck.
Right.
It's just like
Usually in a movie like this, when that's happening, is you would have shots of Patrick and the son, Casey, like kind of like flinching or ducking or whatever while they're getting shot. But no, it's just a shot of a car just getting shot. It's like the kind of thing that get a Fast and Furious movie where they'd be shooting up the car. Unbeknownst to them, that Dom and crew had escaped, right? That they would open up the van and find out that there's nobody in it. That's normally how you would shoot something like that. And instead, it's like, oh no, they're just they're in there. They got blown up.
it's like they just cut back to him like later. It's like, oh, you're in the car. Yes, right.
And it's like everybody will be seated for the exciting trying to get out of the hatch sequence where they're
Yes.
like
So
starting
exciting.
down the hatch. The drilling into the back of the car sequence, which takes forever. I mean, all of this stuff, you're just like, what? Why can't you just do this in one or two shots? And it's like, no, we got to show you the whole painful process of them trying to get out of the car.
Yeah, that's like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. And I mean, you've got like all of these like baddies that are just kind of these nondescript, beady-eyed meathead types.
So nondescript.
Yeah,
and they're more nondescript than Robin Dunn.
Right, exactly. And then you've got Dash Mihok as like kind of the lead of them, who's just like he just like as the movie goes on, he becomes more and more of a jerk to the point that he's just like extreme jerk. Yeah,
yeah. He was such a jerk ass, but he was highly unlikable. I mean, I guess that's the point of his character. But
right.
Did he say something really stupid like you listen to like new metal, don't you, or something like that?
Right. Yes. There's a whole thing about there's a whole like new metal like music conversation.
Limp Bizkit or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I can't. I know what you're talking about.
I think I should have written that down, but it was so like stupid. I guess I just didn't write it down. I should have.
No, it wasn't necessary. Yeah, the Jason Patrick thing. I mean, there's a sequence where he's having dinner with his son and daughter-in-law, and he's like making fun of the son, like just like telling stories about how bad he was when they first started out as armored car drivers. And it's like, so that's what you do, Dad? You're a great guy who embarrasses your son in front of his wife.
I know, embarrassing.
Yeah, so it's like he's kind of a jerk anyway, which also kind of lends itself to like, oh, I can see kind of how he would not be fun to unless you're the guy cutting my hair for everybody else, like going to see him at a convention, right?
If he comes back, I should give him Speed 2 on tape. I mean, that's my
That would be awesome. Yeah, that would be beautiful.
I want to see his face for that.
Right. Like, exactly.
Yeah. If I even present with my narc poster, no, it wasn't. There was nothing to him.
No.
It's like nope, just another pleb to him, I guess. That's okay. He wasn't that bad. I think he was not great. I mean, like, and then I was talking to other people there and making fun of him a bit, but I already talked about that at length in other episodes. I do have some other stuff here. Was it Stallone or Patrick? He says the best action. I think it was Patrick. The best action is no action. Interesting for to say it in this movie. Not much action there.
Yeah, so there was like the gold bars, right? And then there's like
gold bars. Yeah, right.
And then the coin that says like
yes.
And Jason Patrick knows that it's a cartel coin, and that and we find out that it's not that they're stealing the gold for the cartel, they're stealing it from the cartel.
Right. So Rourke, that's so ridiculous. So Rourke is stealing the cartel coin. It's just like it's all very poorly planned and written.
Yeah, right. I mean,
because go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Well, no, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I think it's about the millions in gold. I don't think the Stallone said I want the gold.
Right.
Did he say it? Because it makes remember that song? I want the gold. Remember that from St. Patrick's Day song, that rap song? I want to know where the gold.
No, I didn't know that one. No.
Oh, it's a classic. You just look up Leprechaun Gold Song.
Yeah.
on YouTube. It's one of the oldest YouTube videos.
Right. That's awesome.
It's It's fantastic. He just pictures Stallone singing that song.
Yeah.
Because Stallone doesn't rap, does he? No. So it's like,
No, I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know how much he's saying, right? His brother, obviously,
yeah,
Frank.
Frank sings.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I know Frank was on an episode of The Family Stallone. I still haven't watched that show yet.
Right.
Do you ever see clips of it though? It's just like, I don't care about Sistine Chapel Stallone.
Yeah. No.
Scarlett O'Hara Stallone.
Right. Exactly.
But what's the one who's like, she's on Tulsa King? It's one of those, right?
One of his daughters.
Yeah, it's so flat. It's
Yeah.
like, here's your water. It's like, it's like, who is flatter, her or Dylan Sprouse? You know?
Right. Well, because at least Dylan Sprouse was like a little bit more fun in his flatness, but yeah.
I do like a good flat acting. So I guess the big two things I have in my notes was, number one was the CGI water that falls on Jason Patrick.
Okay, so let's set this up.
We'll
So
talk about that for a second.
it's the end of the movie, and Dash Mihok has lost it. He's shot Stallone. He's killed the other guy that's with them, and he decides that
name.
So he gets in one of their trucks, and he starts pushing the armored truck over the edge of the bridge. That's his plan. That's how he's going to. And I don't know how he thinks he's going to get his bricks that way, but that's his plan. And so as he's doing that, it falls off the edge. It lands on like some like big metal pole of like a shipwreck thing or something like that. And the water's rushing in, and we got the whole like the sun's foot is stuck under something, and the water's rushing in. What are they going to do? Eventually, they get the sun's foot out. The whole thing is submerged, but it's not submerged. It is them just in the car with this kind of like brownish, bluish, like CGI water with bubbles flowing over the sequence.
Yes, it's almost amazing how you could just tell there's no water falling on Jason Patrick or fake cushions later.
Right.
And just like, so it was hilarious. I was like, no, that's not, no.
And I mean, it looks like a kid's show, right? Like a Blue's Clues or something like that, where like they want to do a sequence where the character's underwater, but they don't really have the set or the ability to do it. So they just
that's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah, I mean,
like that's what Steve from Blue's Clues was doing, right? When he's like looking for some starfish or something.
Right.
Like,
yeah, I could not believe that this was. I mean, remember, was it Black Dawn? Right? Is that the one with No, is it Black Dawn? Which is the one that
Steven
Seagal, right? Where they have like the briefcase. And
yes.
they're going to take it out over the ocean, and they drop it in the CGI water with fish and stuff like that before it flows.
That looked better.
It looked better. Can you believe that? Like,
I know. I know. It's like, I know. I can tell you're flabbergasted by this terrible effect. It's just like,
well, because you gave me like I want to know what you think about the CGI, and I'm watching. I mean, we get some bad CGI. Like for example, they don't use they don't use squibs in this. They just use the CGI ones.
CGI stuff.
One point where the Patrick and his son are like they're like pitched in kind of in a corner behind the car early on, and they're having a shootout with the baddies, and there's dust right from like when the baddies shoot them. There's dust to show that they hit well, one point the dust lands right in the middle of the son's forehead. He's obviously not shot in the forehead, right? He survives. They don't mean for him to be shot in the forehead, but that's what it looks like. So it looks like he gets shot in the middle of the forehead.
Yeah. It was like it's just lazy. The movie is just overall just so lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they used all the budget on Stallone.
Right, exactly. Right? You made a fantastic point that this lazy movie, like Jason Patrick fits perfectly in this lazy movie, but Stallone doesn't. Right? This is not something you would expect to see Stallone in.
That's what's so weird, because it's like, Stallone has been he likes he dips his toe into these waters.
Yes.
You have back trace. Right. So you have Back Trace, which is a classic. Well, a classic, sure. Maybe because I like saying the word Back Trace. But, well, let's start. Let's start with Stallone kind of feeling not doing great. So we have I See You, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you have Avenging Angelo, and then he was on a break, and then he has what's it called? I can't think of the movie. Shade. You ever see that one?
Yeah, a long time ago, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. It was at the Goodwill, but the disc was all scratched the heck, so I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
And then you have, why can't I think of it? It's not. Well, we have Escape Plan 2, which went straight to video.
Yeah.
And then Escape Plan 3. Ooh, I love his titles. You know, like Statham's one monosyllabic. His titles are like what he's doing. So Escape Plan, or he's a cliffhanger, or he's a Judge Dredd.
Yeah, he's an expendable, right?
He's expendable. He's an Oscar. You know, he's a grudge match. You know, just like
he's a Tulsa King. Yeah,
he's a Tulsa King, exactly. So either his job or just Demolition Man.
Right. Yes.
It's just right. It's like that's amazing. I guess the one that doesn't really work is Daylight. But I mean, like, you know, his name is not like John Daylight. It's
right. Right. Like Rambo is one of the few where it's, I guess, because like Rambo and Rocky, it's just the name of the character. But you're right. The rest of them, it's like what he is or what he's doing.
What he's doing. Yeah, isn't that great?
It's one of those two. It's you kind of just fallen into that thing. Yeah.
Well, I think I caught that around Escape Plan. It's like, wait, Escape Plan? Such a that's it. That's it's just like, and the movie's that movie's lazy. Wait, did you see Escape Plan? Because I always forget Vinnie Jones is in it.
No, I have not seen the Escape Plan, so I've got to do those.
Oh, never seen Escape Plan?
Yeah, I got to do those. I got to do those movies because I think. Well, it looks like I think they're on streamers. So I think the first one for a long time wasn't on anything. It looks like it's on Pluto and Fossum now. So I need to get out of those. Yeah, I got to do Fossum Roku channel.
Nice. Because what's good about Escape Plan, it's very like 2012, 2013. I know it didn't sound like that long ago.
Yeah.
But there's just something about it. It's just like, that just went to the theater, that it's like, you got the classic Stallone, like, right. And just like, we're going to burn this place to the ground. Then when he had his more normal voice, you got Schwarzenegger. And Escape Plan 2 and 3 are kind of low rent. You know, you got Batista, you know.
Yeah, you got to have some
I'd
Batista.
say the third one, I think the third one's actually pretty good.
The Extractors.
Yeah. Because it has a more of kind of a gritty feel to it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to try to check these out.
Jamie
King is in that one. I noticed Jamie King is in that, and she looks like her age. She doesn't look like an older.
That's right. She doesn't look like Glenn Close anymore.
Glenn Close.
My goodness, she looked like Glenn Close in that movie.
Yeah. For people listening, it's Lights Out, right? Lights Out.
Lights Out. What you talking about?
Christian says we were just talking about that one. Jamie King. She looks like Glenn Close in that movie. Yeah.
It's hilarious. And then hopefully Alarum will hit the streamer, another straight to video Sly.
Yes. Yeah. But, good point. Because
well, how much was he paid for this? Like $1 billion to be on this.
I mean,
like one day.
Think right, like it's and you're right. Like he's in two sets in this movie. He's at the bridge set, and then he's at the warehouse set, which may not even be that far away.
Yeah, I think it's like one step next to the other set.
Yeah, so that's it. He's not anywhere else in the movie. So they made that part really easy for him. That you don't need to go anywhere. It's he does like when he's in the warehouse. I mean, really all he's doing is like he takes a phone call, right? He's like, "You're late," or something like that. Yeah, I mean,
and then the other thing besides the CJ Water and the Sly retrospective we just did was that is the massive plot hole that this movie has, which I guess we can get into.
Yeah, let's do. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so at the end of the movie, first off, Rourke does not pass away. Dash Mihawk or Mihawk dies, obviously. Rourke kills him. So stupid, Rourke. I can't even say about like saying this is dumb.
No.
Okay, but
so, you know what that reminds me of? Calling him Rourke. So there was an NBA coach. His name's I think it's. His last name is Fizdale. I can't think of his first name. I want to say Damon
Fizdale.
Fizdale, right? Exactly. Instead of Tisdale, it's Fizdale. Yeah. And he used to coach the Memphis Grizzlies, and they were playing the San Antonio Spurs, who at that time, this was in the past where they were like a team that had been around for a long time. They were really good, and Fizdale's team was really young, and so they lost a game in the playoffs because the refs were giving the Spurs more calls. And when he did his post-game interview, he's like, you know what, man? They ain't going to rook our team. And when he said by rook, he meant like treat us like rookies. He's like, I'm going to let them rook. And so whenever they called him Rook, I was just thinking of Fizdale going, you ain't going to rook me.
I wish he was in the movie. That'd be better.
I would.
It's like,
This movie could use some Fizdale. That's for sure. Yeah.
yeah. Because and so what happens is that Rook escapes from this armored car heist thing, and he goes into the car with another person, and the other person is that manager from the beginning. And it's like, why was that not set up at all? All you had, I think I sent you a note on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Let me read that because it's like here, all you had to do, if I can find it really fast.
Yeah. And I'll quickly say that coach's name is David Fizdale, not Damon. David Fizdale.
Oh, David Fizdale.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
So Sly's in cahoots with the random bank manager from the beginning.
Right.
All you needed to fix that is any sort of exposition or even a phone call to the manager, and some light revenge by Patrick and Patrick and Son when they learn that information, which they never do.
Right.
They never learn that it was the manager.
Right. They don't learn it. Right. It's only that, because this is a Randall Emmett thing too, right? This idea of the bad guys being good guys or the bad guys getting away with it. So, we got Stallone here. He's definitely a bad guy. One of the funny things is like he keeps saying the whole time he's not going to let Dash Miho kill Patrick and his son because if we kill somebody we get double the time. Now, right, now maybe it's just because of the honor thing. He doesn't want to murder people. That's not what he's about, which I can kind of get that. But Patrick is picking off his guys, right? Patrick is killing all of his guys. And the other thing is this crime that they're committing. A murder is only going to add so much time because if they get caught doing this crime, they're going to go away for a long time. I mean, the explosions, the shooting, all of that stuff. Like, it's not like it's just going to be like, oh, you get a slap on the wrist because you didn't kill anybody,
I know.
Yeah.
It's like they couldn't. All you had to do was just like, wouldn't it be cooler? Like, that Patrick like figures it out. It's the manager, and maybe the manager in it more. Always come back to your bad guy.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, now I'm coming after you. And then maybe he like runs them over with the armored truck or something at the end.
I think at the very least, Patrick, like what would have been nice is especially so Stallone is one thing, right? You want to see Stallone,
right.
And it's funny, right? Because we were joking about the Incredible Hulk thing. He gets his Incredible Hulk moment because he kills Mihawk when Mihawk is about to kill Patrick. So he kills Mihawk, and then he goes back to he goes back down to the beach, and he's got Patrick at gunpoint. And Patrick's like, "Come on, what are we doing?" And he's like, "Listen, I'll let you guys go as long as you don't come, whatever." He's like, "Okay, fine, And so then he just walks down the street, down like what is it, whatever the highway is that connects Mississippi and Louisiana.
Alabama,
he's just walking, and so he gets his Hulk moment, right, where he's walking off, and then we get this SUV that just shows up and picks him up, and it's the bank guy.
Like we're supposed to remember that. It's just like
exactly.
Just it's so easy to fix. Wouldn't you have like a cooler ending? It's just like it's like or anything. How about like Stallone's like, you know what? Here's what's going on. In that kind of Stallone voice. You can do exposition.
Right.
Yeah. Just cut down next to the manager. I know the manager. It's like,
right. I mean, also what this could have led to was it Enemies Closer? Was that the one with Van Damme where the guy who was supposed to deliver the drugs crashes and it's in the water? Like, if we had like a scuba scene. I mean, maybe I wonder if they're setting up a sequel like they did with Cash Out, where they have a second Cash Out.
Oh, maybe
they're
Armor 2.
Armor 2, where Stallone comes back to do some scuba diving. I mean, you could do some really good stunt doubling if you have a scuba, right? Because you get the mask and everything. It'd be the perfect role for Stallone.
If him another $4 million, it's just like pay him $10 million to be in a scuba suit. Wouldn't that be fun to see him in a scuba suit for like 1 second?
Oh, beautiful!
Like,
and then he puts the
mask, laugh.
The cutaway when he puts the mask on. Yeah.
Oh, it'd be so funny. It's like I'm a frogman. Like a frogman. Like,
speaking of which,
there's an idea.
But I was going to say, speaking of which, there's a really great shot. You were mentioning, I'm definitely going to do Stallone for the social media shot. But there's like this sequence because we also get establishing shot padding in this movie. We get so many different types of padding.
Oh my goodness!
There's that sequence, right, where there's just like a whole bunch of establishing shots linked together. where
I
it's
remember
like,
that.
the
Yeah.
bridge, and then it's the water, and it's the trees, and then there's two frogs just sitting there hanging out, as part of the
Can you
establishment
get
shot.
that shot?
Yeah.
Can you get frog padding? Yeah, see, if we have frog padding, that's not good.
Yeah. No, right. Frog. I mean, we say it's not good. I mean, it's kind of. I mean, frogs are
Well, it's
fun, but you're
funny.
right. When you're
It's funny.
resorting to frog shot pot padding,
Yeah.
you're not in good shape with your movie.
No, I mean it's all funny. It's all fun and games. But I mean, like if you have frog padding, it might be a new low or a new high. But it's like,
Right. Exactly. Right.
see,
Frogs are fun, but like just
yeah,
like I like a good frog shot in a Blue's Clues episode for the kids. I
I
don't need frog padding and bad water CGI in my action movie.
I was just cracking up at that water CGI. But yeah, could you do the frog shot in for the picture or no?
I could do that too. Yeah. I mean, I thought the Stallone thing might be funny, but I mean, it might be. I could do the frogs. I think there's enough of a shot, like enough of a side to them that I
Is it,
could
yeah, I
do.
think there's enough of a shot of the frogs that you can actually make it, or you can do whatever you like to do. But I think that would be kind of funny. Like, why are these frogs? It's like,
Right.
but Stallone probably works better. Look at John Cusack, and I wish he had the grill.
Yeah.
Stupid pursuit goes away all the time.
Right.
It's
Right.
like,
Exactly.
if that came back, would you redo the shot?
Oh yes. Oh, I would definitely do a shot of him on the grill. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not going to review the movie on the site until.
No. But I mean, like, would you redo the picture? Because that would just kind of fun. Like, this is the real picture. This is the
Yeah.
real grill.
I definitely would. I mean, because people love the idea of just Cusack on the skids. They thought
Oh, that was a hit.
yeah, yeah. People dug that one. Yeah, just the
Oh,
concept of it,
good.
Cusack on the skin. Which I mean, to be honest, I mean, if Stallone did another, because that's the thing, right? Is that Cusack's another one who, you wouldn't, you don't expect him to be in movies like this, but he's done a lot of these armor
He's
type
done
movies.
10,
Yeah,
10, 12, maybe. He's done one with Patrick, the Prince.
right. Exactly. The Prince was one when yeah. I mean, Willis
Should
was
have
doing
asked
these.
Patrick about that.
Stallone had somehow kept himself above these movies for a long time. And I mean, this is a different level than like the escape plan. Because again, I haven't seen this escape plan movies, but I think you would attest to it, right? That's those are not this level of movie,
No, it's better. Those are better than Armor.
right?
But see, maybe he doesn't. Does Stallone not care anymore? It's like, or
Yeah,
he just needs a quick payday because it's like. I mean,
right.
if I was Stallone, I get paid $4 million to be on a bridge for a day. I'll take it. It's like,
I mean, he's on
or maybe
Tulsa
it's
King, right? I mean, I
that's what
wonder.
so yeah. Why is he doing these?
Right. He's got a TV. I mean, could it be? I mean, I don't know. From a movie standpoint, right? I mean, we don't know what this alarm thing is going to be. But this alarm thing looks like it's a higher quality thing than Tulsa King. I should say that. Um,
Oh no, I think it's the same thing as Armor. It's from the same peeps.
is it the same? Oh, is it another? Because
The
it's got.
Randall Scandal
Oh, it's a random.
and
Because
Scott Eastwood.
it's got more people in it. It's got Scott Eastwood. It's got Mike. Well, I shouldn't say Scott Eastwood's not a person. So I should, but Mike Coulter.
He's not a person.
Right, he's a, right, when you say a movie's got people in it, right? He doesn't. Mike Coulter, I think, does count though. I mean,
Yeah, Scott Eastwood. I mean, he needs to make like 5 good movies for me to even consider him to be okay again.
right,
It's
exactly.
just like,
Yeah,
or I'll be nice. I'll say 3. Make 3 good ones, and I might come back to you. It's
but
just like,
I'm seeing that guy Joel Cohen, who is not the Joel Cohen of the. Oh, I didn't realize Joel Cohen, who's like the producer in these movies, right? He's not the Joel Cohen of the Cohen brothers.
right.
He's a different guy. I think he plays the bank guy. He's the bank manager in this,
Oh,
and
no wonder.
he's in that Alarum movie that's out now too. Oh wow.
I gotta see. Now we gotta see it. Now I love the bank
I
manager. He's my
know.
favorite character.
I know. I mean,
Forget Rook. Forget him.
right. Forget exactly.
Forget Jason Patrick's. I don't remember Jason Patrick's name in it. Was it Jason?
Yeah. What was his? That's a
Matthews.
good question. That's a James. Close. You were close. It was
It was
James.
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 Very
Yeah.
close.
I mean,
But see,
everybody's
what's
got
funny
one
about
name,
Jason
right? Well,
Patrick?
yeah.
The thing about Jason Patrick is that he's fallen into this crud for a little while now too.
Right.
I mean, like if we
he
wanted,
exists here.
go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying he exists here. This is his place.
Like this is good for him. I mean, I was talking to someone about Terrifier 3, which Jason Patrick was in,
Mm-hmm.
and I mentioned to her that like, how was Jason Patrick? 'Cause I just met him. He was lame. It's like, see, he wasn't great in this either. He's kind of lazy. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just like, because he's in that movie with Natalie Byrne, Jason Patrick, Till Death Do Us Part,
Oh.
and Cam Guijanet. You ever see that one?
No, I haven't. No.
And it's on Prime Video or Tubi. Till Death Do Us Part. It's kind of like, a bride on the loose killing the groomsmen. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's like, so let me take a look at Jason Patrick. Let's go back for just a minute. So he fell off. He took a break. You got Speed 2. You got Sleepers, which is that's a good movie. Sleepers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not bad. Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, so then he's fallen off a little bit. So we got Walker Payne, which no one really. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
From what's his name? Patrick? No, I don't think I have.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like a family drama. I want you to the video. Okay, and then he's in the Valley of Elah with Tommy Lee Jones. He doesn't really do much. He's there. It's like, hey, look,
I remember that one. Yeah, that's a TNT new classic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, okay, now we're talking here. Now we're talking 2014. We're talking The Outsider.
Yeah.
Which is Craig Fairbrass, James Caan, and Jason Patrick, and Shannon Elizabeth.
Right.
And Johnny Mesner. Wow, I should rewatch this movie. What a classic cast that is.
I know. Mesner, right? He's kind of become, Mesner's kind of become a bit of a, I don't know, I want to say mascot for our episodes here.
Is he like he's like a mascot for our show.
Right. He's kind of
That's Johnny Hunt.
He's kind of just been hanging around. Like, we've been seeing him in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he always drops by in our things.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back soon, right?
I imagine we're gonna find some. Yeah, because depending on what we end up doing with because we're thinking, what was it, decommissioned? We were thinking about
decommissioned. Yeah.
Yeah. So depending, we'll talk about our upcoming episodes in a bit. But yeah, that's we're thinking about that. But yeah, I mean this The Outsider thing. I mean, it's on the Roku channel. But yeah, oh man, yeah.
And you gotta see this his next movie. His next movie is like, did they just like go straight to our podcast? Because look what this is: A Line of Fire. So it stars David A.R. White from those God is Dead movies.
Oh yes.
And you have, that's hilarious as itself. You got Cuba Gooding Jr. You got Jason Patrick, and last but not least, Scott Baio.
Well, because Scott Baio makes sense, right? Because he does these Christian movies. He does kind of these alt-right things. But Jason Patrick doing this and Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Oh my goodness. Well, it looks like more of an action-y thing.
Right. Maybe David A.R. White. Yes, he's branching out. I mean, it's got to have some kind of Christian bent to it, right? Like, it's got to.
It has to, yeah.
Maybe the rapture, the baddie's about to kill. Oh, I'm looking at the picture of Scott Baio, and I mean.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I mean.
It's perfect.
It's the so gloves perfect. and the suit with the 3-button Henley underneath the suit.
Isn't that great?
Oh God!
Oh, look at that! It's gonna be fantastic.
You're right. This thing could be a trip. I mean,
I can't wait for this.
David A.R. White. Yeah, I mean, I might be able to get my wife Jen to watch this, because when we first met, one of the schlock category of movies that she enjoyed was the religious movies. She always got a kick out of these, and of course David A.R. White, right? I mean, he does so many of these.
He does so many. I need to watch the one that has Judge Jeanine Pirro. As Judge, like Jeannie or whatever it is. Just like, so it's like, I gotta see that one. Oh, she plays Mike Huckabee's and God We Trust. I gotta see this one.
Oh God, yeah. Well, because I think he did a couple of Gary Daniels movies, right? I think.
Yeah, I need to watch those. The Mark or something it's called.
Right, The Mark. I think those are David A.R. White's as well. The Mark. Yeah, The Mark and The Encounter Paradise Lost, and then the sequel to The Mark. I think did he do the sequel as well? Because Gary Daniels was in both. The first one. I did review The Mark. It's got.
You did. Okay, I need to reread your review.
Yeah, I did The Mark. I haven't done Encounter Paradise Lost or the other one. The Mark. I don't know what the sequel, if it's just called The Mark II or Mark something else. Yeah, so Gary Daniels in The Mark. It's also got Eric Roberts and Craig Sheffer is the star.
Nice, Craig Sheffer. I just watched Executive Power of Craig Sheffer.
Yeah,
it's like Absolute Power, but it's called Executive Power.
Oh, it is just like a grimacing like whatever. Oh my God, I'm looking up David A.R. White, just looking up his thing. He did a Melrose Place episode as a room service waiter in 1993.
I don't remember that episode, but I've seen every episode.
My hunch. So I guess when you look at his career, I never really looked at his acting career, but I guess it's one of those things where it's like he did a martial law episode. Speaking of that show, He was
That's amazing.
he played a character named Scott Payne as David White. So I wonder if it was one of those things where he got into this religious stuff because it made some money for him. It was a niche.
Was and also in this movie that he made called Love on the Rock. It has David R. White, Stephen Bauer, and John Lovitz and Jeff Fahey,
Right.
which is on Tubi, by the way. So we're gonna
Yeah.
have to watch it soon.
Did that? I mean, the fact that this is happening, that
Yeah.
that Jason Patrick and Cuba Gooding Jr. I mean, he's an Oscar winner. I mean, you think about like Ernest Borgnine, who's from your hometown.
Yeah, Ernie.
He was an Oscar winner that did a lot of schlock, right? A lot of like low rent Italian, Antonio Margheriti movies and things like that.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah.
And so much crud.
So, I mean, Cuba Gooding Jr., though I think Cuba Gooding Jr., I think part of it was the fact that he couldn't find parts, and so he had to go into DTV. But I think the other thing is, weren't there Me Too accusations against him?
Yeah, he got in trouble over that too. So like, so now he's back onto the crud. And then Cuba Gooding's in that weird movie that has Kevin Sorbo. It's like he's in prison or something.
Right, yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, because
Cuba fell off again.
It seems like these religious movies are where the canceled guys go. It's like the
island Dean Cain is also
it's like the island of canceled actors. Yeah,
I mean, he just like, and it's like Fantasy Island. So instead of Tattoo, it's David R. White. It's like
wow.
Herb Velichess, he should have been in action movies. He kind of was. Wasn't he in a James Bond movie?
He was, yes. Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty close. But so I figured I lost my train. Jason Patrick in that new movie. So
we got on a David A.R. White. This was a tangent nobody would have expected coming. But we had to expect the crazy with us. I mean, people should go. This looks. Who knows what's going to happen here with this? And the fact that it says stars and David A.R. White is listed as stars above Cuba Gooding Jr., Jason Patrick is just even crazier.
You got Scott Baio. I mean, that's Scott Baio
plays a character named Braun, which is what the nickname is for LeBron James. People who know him well call him Braun.
That's hilarious.
So the fact that Scott Baio is calling himself Braun, who knows what this thing is going to. I mean.
I figured we got a classic on the line.
This could be a trip. We got to, when this thing finally gets out there. It's probably going to go to Russia first before it gets here.
Straight to Russia. Just Putin's going to watch this first, huh?
Yeah, well, because it was supposed to have come out in April of 2025. It was supposed to come out a month ago, and I'm not seeing it available anywhere. So I don't know what's going to happen.
All right, I'll keep an eye on this.
Yeah, we'll see what's happening.
But I'm waiting patiently for God's Not Dead and God We Trust to come out to streamers. I'm not going to buy that.
No. I mean, these are all right. They're all ones that have to be streamers, right? You can't. You can't buy any of these.
Because this is so ridiculous. This is hilarious. I mean, like, wait, what's the one of Judge Janine? I need to find that one. It's gonna drive me crazy. I'll find that one. So, look up Judge Janine. Have you ever see her on Fox News or not?
Oh yeah, she's ridiculous. Yeah, she doesn't even know what she's talking about half the time. Yeah, it's amazing. I guess because her law degree, but I mean, she is like the crazy aunt that just says all kinds of It's like you're on Facebook and you're like, Aunt so and so, like Aunt Janine, like come on, you can't keep saying this crazy stuff, and she's like saying it on TV. It's not even like a Facebook.
I know
thing.
it's all just ridiculous.
Yeah,
I guess now she's taking a break from. I saw on the Apple News that when you check your percentages.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's in the news. Okay, that's all. And like I said, that's the only news I really get. But it's like, oh, okay.
Yes. Well, as you're looking that up, I will say so. The Mark II Redemption. It was written by David A.R. White, but it looks like it was directed by somebody else, maybe even produced by someone. So I wonder if they just took his idea and made this second movie. I don't. You'd think he would have made it, but I don't know.
Well, what do you remember of the Mark? I mean, we should probably get to our spotlight of fight, but I mean, was it a good movie or one of those?
Oh no.
Okay. It's garbage.
And I'm not saying I think when I reviewed it, it was one of those things where I was like, I'm putting aside the fact that it's a Christian movie, and I'm just reviewing it based off the fact that it's a movie, and it's not working. Very scant Daniels. You got the Roberts it's okay, Eric Roberts, but it's not the best. And then the Craig Sheffer, he's just like scowling and angry the whole time, and it's like it's not fun Sheffer either.
I think Sheffer's fallen off a bit.
Yeah, I mean he can be good, but this movie it's just scowling and grimacing the whole time.
Because I feel like Craig Sheffer, like Steven Dorff,
mm-hmm.
it's like they could be brothers in something.
Right. Oh, that would be that would be an interesting movie. Them like as like that whole thing with the accountant too, where it's
Oh
like
yeah, the count too.
they made like an asylum version of the accountant called like I don't know what would you call it, like the CPA, right, or the
Yeah, the CPA or something like
right,
that.
the
CPA.
actuary or something, right? And
The actuary. Yeah, the stamper.
yeah, I
Like,
yeah, yeah, and yeah, have those two play brothers in it. Yeah, that would be, yeah, I mean, Gary Daniels, as we're recording this now, when this episode comes out, it's gonna be about, it's gonna be a little while after, but
mm.
he just had his birthday, and I mean, I don't really have more movies to review of his, so I was thinking about doing one of these religious ones, like maybe doing like the Mark II or something.
Well, might as well if you're right if you're on low.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I should have done it over the weekend. His birthday was over the weekend, and I missed it. I found out
Yeah,
it was Friday.
do you follow what's his name on Instagram? VCR Dad.
No, I no.
Look this guy up because he had he had like every Gary Daniels movie
Did
like ever,
nice.
and Gary Daniels responded.
Oh, did he? Oh, that's awesome.
Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
I just got a like from Chris Sarandon today
Oh,
because
nice. Oh, that's a good
I supposedly will be meeting him in September, for Horror Fest.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wait a second, Chris Sarandon, huh? He's in Collision Course starring Jay Leno.
Right, that's
and
right.
Paprika.
Yes.
I have to bring that to him.
Yes.
I was going to give him something else. Like, no, you're getting Collision Course.
That's right, because you have the VHS of that has the
I sure do.
the refund offer.
Yeah, the
right?
refund one. It's like, well, who wanted the refund? I don't know. You're crazy. What a great movie. But it's like,
yeah. So for people who aren't familiar with this, versions of Collision Course had a thing where you could send it back in and get a refund from HBO Films. If you
didn't like it.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if we did that now. It's like, I don't like it now. Can I have it now? It's like
exactly. I wanted to review that movie because it's straight to HBO. The problem was HBO took it down after I watched
it. They finally did, huh?
Yeah, they took it. So I don't know if it's back up lately, but
let me look. But we should probably go to our fight.
Yeah. Well, I guess
let me look it up.
Final thoughts, I guess, on this
one.
one.
On Armor.
Yeah. It's rough.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Because I didn't hate it. It's just relentlessly stupid.
Right. And there's not a lot happening. A lot of padding.
Yeah, I wanted to like it more. If it had more of a better plot to hang your hat on.
Yeah.
Like with the manager or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I would have but there's just nothing. You're watching nothing.
Right, exactly.
For 2 hours. Right. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah. It's an hour and a half movie, but it, like to your point, because there's just so much nothing. I mean, the fact it takes a half hour for anything to happen, and then you just have all these moments where they're either doing flashback. I mean, again, the idea of the movie, it's almost like whoever wrote the movie was thinking, I'm going to write a one set movie so that we can, get as much as we can out of one set. And it's like,
out of one Stallone.
So right, exactly. Yeah.
What's that thing from Queen? One Stallone, one vision.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's I would say Will from Exploding Helicopter, he watched this and he posted about it and said, if Stallone made a worse movie, I haven't seen it. And
that's an interesting question.
Yeah, it might be the best way to sum this up. I mean, it is you when you're watching it though, I think to Stallone's credit, he at least feels out of place in this movie. And I think for like a Patrick or even like a Cusack with Cusack on the Skids or Malkovich or all these other ones, the fact that Stallone has managed to keep his screen presence up to the point that he feels out of place in this movie, that's maybe a credit to him. Something I wasn't expecting when I watched this.
He almost helped in the movie. I mean, because we all have Stallone biases, obviously,
right.
But
yeah,
it was kind of funny to see, like, why are you in this again? Like, all right,
yeah, exactly.
It's like,
it's
so.
Yeah, but
I hope I kind of hope he still does more of these movies, because it helps us.
It helps us. It's fun for us to have some. I mean, it's interesting some of the names that have come up on here. I mean, we did a Chuck Norris movie, right, with Agent Recon.
That's true.
We got the Stallone now. I mean, maybe Schwarzenegger will get one in at some point.
Schwarzenegger's never really gone straight to video because he went into governorship.
Right.
And that's how he got away with it.
Exactly. So yeah.
Oh,
Well,
nice. Yeah, I bet he was getting close. Like, it's like, what's that, Arnold? It's like, you're gonna go straight to Tubi?
yeah.
Go straight to Tubi. It's like, yeah, he should go straight to Tubi. Schwarzenegger. He's got to. It's the one had to go all straight to videos. Why not Schwarzenegger?
Yeah. No, I agree.
That's one of our last people, like Tom Cruise. Like if we can get Tom Cruise, Schwarzenegger, Denzel Washington. Can we get some of these? Ryan Gosling? Can he go straight? If we can get these people straight to video.
Yeah, some of these names, I think it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, like Stallone is a big. I mean, obviously the fact that De Niro does these, and he does a ton of them.
De Niro does these garbages.
Yeah. It's kind of you'd almost feel like if De Niro's doing them, then everybody else would be like, hey, if De Niro's doing it, it's good enough for me.
Well, that's the thing. Look at De Niro. He did Freelancers with 50 Cent and Forrest Whitaker and White Girl.
Yeah.
If you know, you know again.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So, and then Val Kilmer, he was in Blood Out. See, it's like that's the thing. If De Niro was like okay, Robert De Niro's in a straight to video movie,
right?
All right,
yeah,
I could do these.
Yeah.
So, but Stallone's like, all right, give me some cash and I'll be in your movie.
Right. It's what you'd hope, but yeah, I don't know.
But let's hope maybe Alarm will hit the streamers. And I guess there's another Dermot Mulroney. It's like when I looked it up, it's like in Son, Father We Trust or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dermot Mulroney's like a jailed dad or something, and his son's like evil or something. It might be a decent movie.
Oh, that could be interesting. Yeah.
And Father We Trust or something. I'm screwing it up, the title, but
yeah.
I was like, oh, another Dermot. But I guess we can go to Spotlight on a Fight.
Yeah.
Also, I guess overall, the movie. So I guess if you're Stallone completist, I'd watch it.
Oh yeah, you have to watch it for that. Yeah, if you're still you have to watch it. Yeah, so that's a given. And I think that's the only really place that this lives, right?
Yeah, that lives there. Unless people are Jason Patrick or Dash Mihawk completists.
Right. Yes. Who knows if they must be out there, right? There's probably like Tumblr pages like devoted to those two. Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah, is there like a fanzine for Dash Mihawk or Jason Patrick?
Exactly. I mean,
yeah.
But no, it's Stallone completists and people like us who have this whole niche where we do these modern or these new.
It's like DTV they make crudds. It for us.
Yeah, it's exactly.
I'd have to say that's like I mean, it's like it's called Armor. It starts straight. It's one straight. The video has Stallone and produced by Randall Scandal.
Yeah, exactly.
Did he just make that for our podcast?
No, exactly.
And it's bonded.
Right.
It's like.
Yeah,
you're kidding.
I mean, I wonder if Randall has found out about us doing these and he's just starting to make movies just for us. Because I mean,
I think so.
Why would you make a Cash Out 2 unless you know we need material for our
we do need material. And Cash Out 3 is filming now with DJ Khaled.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go. Yeah,
so now we have Cash Out 3. So we have a pre-podcast for that for like the next year.
Yeah. So Randall knows. He knows what he's doing. Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He's a brilliant man.
Exactly.
Wait, did he marry Lala? I forget.
And then she had to escape. She left.
Right.
Yeah, because it wasn't a good situation. So yeah, good old Randall. Then he put out a big Instagram thing saying none of that stuff was true, which I probably we the fact Mr. I mean, you talk about like how Woody Allen, like there's all these movies that Woody Allen made where it's like an older guy hooking up with a younger woman, and it's kind of like, okay, you're kind of the fact that Randall makes all these movies where the bad guys end up either getting away or like the heroes team up with the bad, like the bad guys get away with it kind of things, these sort of lovable rogues in his mind. I think there's probably a sense of like
that Randall Scandal's lovable rogue against Lala Kent.
Exactly.
I do look there. Maybe the podcast is still around, not like making new ones, but the old ones.
Mm-hmm.
And when they had Stallone on, it was so you like Rocky? Huh? I was like, no.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Ask about Rocky anymore. I'm Rockied out.
I know. He's all the movies he did. Yeah. Ask him about what
anything.
Was yeah, Oscar. Was it
Spy
Oscar?
Kids 3? Oscar. That's what Spy Kids 3 came over. Anything.
Yeah.
Ask about Shade.
Yeah, Cobra.
Yeah, Cobra, of course.
Yeah.
Tango and Cash.
Yeah. Ask about when he gets attacked by Jack Lemmon and what was it? oh god, what was the name of that movie? I want to say it's The
What's that
Prisoners
movie?
of Fifth Avenue, but it's yeah, there's a
Lords of Flatbush?
no, not Lords of Flatbush. No,
Oh,
it's a movie. It's a movie that Jack Lemmon did where it's Stallone's early movies. It's in the '70s, and
oh,
what happens is Jack Lemmon thinks that Stallone mugged him. So because he can't find his wallet, so he thinks that Stallone picked his pocket, and he tackles him and takes him and starts attacking him, and then it turns out that oh no, he didn't take his wallet. So
that's hilarious. So
yeah,
Jack Lemmon beats up
the prisoner of
Stallone?
Second Avenue. I didn't realize that prisoner of Second
Wow.
Avenue.
Good memory.
But
I didn't know that
it
one.
actually comes out the year after Lords of Flatbush. Yeah, it's a
Oh,
one
okay.
scene cameo that he has in the movie. Yeah,
But it'd be like Jack Lemmon versus Jack Lemmon fight scene with
right.
Stallone. It's like,
That could be if there was more to it. It could be a spotlight on a fight. Yeah,
oh, really? That close?
it's a trip. It's at a Stallone's career. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a fascinating one. It's a fascinating movie. But that's a fascinating scene for sure.
Wouldn't that be funny though? It's just like because we already did Stone Cold, Mel Gibson, and Van Damme fights with Stallone.
Yeah.
Now he has Jack Lemmon. It's
Oh
like,
yeah, if it was, yeah, I'll have to see. It's not on a free streamer. I don't
okay,
know if I'll have to see if that sequence is on Tubi
maybe
because
it's on YouTube.
yeah, on YouTube. I mean, yeah, on YouTube. Yeah, because yeah, it would be a trip to see that.
But that's a good
Oh, I
segue
didn't
into
realize it's also
our
got Stack Pierce in it, and
I love Stack Pierce.
yeah, I mean, of course, Emmett Walsh. I do remember him as the doorman, but F. Murray Abraham plays a tax driver. Yeah, so it's got all kinds of people in it. It's a trip.
That's some great
Prisoner of
people.
Second Avenue. Yeah,
All right, I'm on the case on that one.
yeah, yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, yeah, it's a trip. It's a as a Jack Lemmon movie, it's probably up there as one of his better ones. But I mean, he has so many great ones that it's like it kind of falls down the list a bit. But yeah, Prisoner of Second Avenue.
He never did action movies. Jack Lemmon.
No, the closest, right? The closest was the President's movie, right? Wasn't he in?
Oh, that's right. My Fellow Americans.
My
We talked
fellow.
about before.
Yeah,
Yeah. What's the closest you're gonna get? Because there are numerous brutal killings
exactly.
by Everett McGill, just like we talked about last time. But that is so weird. At least 5 people die in that movie. That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's like horribly murdered.
exactly.
Like, but we've already talked about our Spotlight on a Fight, which is a great one.
Yes. So I realized I don't think we've done, other than Expendables 2, I don't know if we've done a Van Damme one, especially not.
Oh no, we did. We did Van Damme versus Icy from Sudden Death.
Oh, that's right. We did. You're absolutely right. That was like one of the all-time best. So that's right. So we
Yeah,
have
I
done.
love Icy.
That's right. That's right. So this one is interesting because we have another sport involved. We've got basketball. We're doing the double team end fight, which
Yes.
has all kinds of stuff going on in it. So I mean, maybe I'll get started. So the setup to the fight scene is that they're at a bullfighting arena, or is it supposed to be the Coliseum, or it's like some
Some sort of fake Coliseum, right?
right?
It's like,
And it looks like they're in like kind of a big bull fighting, but maybe like where the gladiators fight. Kind of, it's like this dirt arena area, and Mickey Rourke is there. He's shirtless, he's buff, and he's ready to take out Van Damme. The other thing is that he's kidnapped Van Damme's infant son, so they don't know where that is. Where the baby is, they don't know where he is. Fortunately, there's that British spy guy who's kind of lurking around who might be able to find him, and then Dennis Rodman's there as well. So it starts off the two of them kind of like kind of
as Yaz.
as Yaz, right? We get Rodman as Yaz. You got to love that. And so
I love that. And the Yaz, the band, the great too. Don't go.
right. I think like one of those like beer companies hard seltzers uses that song, and it's like
all right, don't you know?
Right.
Don't go.
Right, it's like leave my Yaz alone. Somebody did that. I remember there's a bar near here that had karaoke, and a young woman did that song.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was kind of surprised. I was like, huh, that's a kind of a little bit of a deep cut. So yeah, if you're wondering,
funny.
I did do karaoke myself. I did Mandy by Barry Manilow. So
Nice. How'd that go? Good. I'm assuming you got a standing ovation.
Yeah, people were. Yeah, there was a young woman who came up and she's like, "My name's Mandy," and at the time, if I'd thought of it, I would have been like, "Oh, and is it true that you came and you gave without taking?" But I didn't. I just.
Oh, because you think you got away? You probably could have gotten away with that.
Yeah, I would have had enough time. It was like during the break, but all I did was say, "Hey, it's Mandy." Everybody and everybody cheered for her. So yeah, but yeah, people like swaying. Like they're kind of
Oh,
so,
everyone loves to sway.
Yeah, it was a good. Yeah, it was like it's like one of those things when you're doing karaoke, you got to think of something that like doesn't require a lot of vocal range, not a lot of high, so, whatever, but also something that's goofy enough that people get a kick out of it. Like Michael Bolton seems like an easy one, but I think he requires a lot more vocal range. You
Because
gotta,
Mandy's a good song to sing. Oh,
right,
Mandy.
exactly.
So it's just
Yeah.
like, about take it. So you do a lot of emotional kind of. Did you like not pump your fist, but you put your hand into a fist while you're singing it?
No, I would like when he was like, and I sent you away. I was like
Yeah.
pointing off in the
Oh, you pointed.
yeah,
That's
I
even
kind of
better.
like sent you away, kind of like wave my hands, like yeah.
You're the karaoke king.
It was one of those. It's like, okay, I can think of much better than that. But actually, I would say my friend did an even better one. He did All Star by uh oh, I can't think of it.
Smash Mouth?
Yeah, Smash Mouth. How did I wanted to say Smashing Pumpkins. Why did that happen? But yeah, he did All Star, right? And that was actually kind of a funny one. Because again, it doesn't require a lot of vocal range. You just get up
No,
there and
not
you're
much
just like,
there.
yeah, somebody once told me, and everybody kind of gets into it.
So it's kind of interesting. So I've done karaoke before. I mean, a long time ago. I think I did "Kickstart My Heart."
Oh yes,
But
that's a good one. Yeah.
but I think there's a booklet, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you got to go through the book and find stuff in the
Yeah.
pages. Yeah, because there was like an older guy there. Like I think he was like there with it. He was visiting his daughter at the bar, and he did Yellow Submarine. So it's like,
Well, yeah, that works for him.
another easy one, right? Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to think of a hard one. I mean, like, oh, I know, Savage Garden. I Want You.
Yes,
See, that'd be
any
like-
Savage Garden is tough. Yeah, truly, man. Yeah, those were all going to be tough ones.
That'd be something like I can't even sing it. Terricola.
Exactly.
I can't even do it.
When I was so when I turned 30, I visited my sister out in Seattle, and she my sister out in Seattle, I was out there with her and her boyfriend at the time. We went to a bar and they were doing karaoke, and I was like, all right, I got to do a song for my birthday. And I think I did Here I Go Again. And that one has a really high pitch, the Here I Go, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I was like, yeah, I just kind of. Yeah, I was a few beers deep at that point. I think I just kind of went with it, but I tried my best not to kill anybody's ears with it. But ever since then, I've been like, I'm not going to do anything that has any high like that, So
I mean, I'd love to do some Whitesnake. Still the night,
still the night, yeah.
Still the night, still the night, still the night. Anyway, because we're kind of doing karaoke now. But
yeah. I know. We're kind of we're doing without the backing track. Yeah, we no, we're kind of just
I can't figure it. Well. What's the one with Tawny Katane? Well, Here I Go Again. What's the other one?
Yeah, you got Is This Love? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Is This Love?
Is This Love?
This is the Whitesnake.
I'm sorry. I know. I didn't realize too. I don't know how it works with the copyright strikes on YouTube. If we sing, if we do karaoke.
Oh, we'll be singing a different tone. Like, Is This Love?
Right.
Exactly. You just gotta destroy their algorithm.
Right, exactly. There's this guy on YouTube. I know we're gonna get our spotlight fight, but there's a guy on YouTube called Stoner Perv who he would do these hilarious covers. Stoner Perv, yeah. He would do these hilarious covers of 80s songs. And what happened was he would get clipped because he would just sing over the video. So like you'd still hear so like he did like for example, he did St. Elmo's Fire, at John Parr. And he would just sing over, while the other guy's still singing in the background. So what he did is he got like this cheap, like karaoke, like MIDI device that would like play the song. And then he would sing over that version, and it was considered okay because I guess it's like a cover or something. But yeah, he's hilarious because he'll do like bad high pitch, but he'll also just be like with like St. Elmo's Fire, he starts off with like going up. You will see the writing on the wall. It's
There was like Stallone there.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, Stoner Perv. Yes, it's all one word, Stoner Perv. Yeah, people should check that out.
I'm gonna look that up after this. Well, back to the fight.
Back to the fight. So we've got Rourke. We've got Van Damme. They're getting some good fights in. I think Rourke is a pretty decent martial artist, and Van Damme's getting some good kicks in, some good jump kicks. There's moments where like
I mean, there was that great. That sweep by Mickey Rourke right at the beginning.
Yes, that's right. Oh, that's right. When he runs in and he just runs in blindly and Rourke sweeps him. That's right.
That was good. I forgot about how good that was. Like that was pretty impressive by Mickey Rourke.
Yeah. No, he's good here. I mean, this is like pre The Wrestler. So it was like this period of time where he was, he also didn't had a lot of work done like he ends up getting. So he still kind of looks like 80s Mickey Rourke. He looks enough
Yeah,
like it. Yeah.
for the most part, yeah.
Yeah. So that Dennis Rodman runs in to try to save the
Yeah.
day, and he ends up stepping on one of the mines, and we find out that there's all these crosses all over the place, and these crosses represent mines. Yeah. Um, so he's got the mines everywhere. So yeah, so Rodman has stepped on one,
Right.
and so now Rodman is in the middle of this place with the mine, and Van Damme and Rourke are fighting over him. And
Yeah.
Rodman is a big guy. I think he's like 6'8", and so he's having to like duck, and
That's
they're like
nuts.
jumping over him and stuff. So you get some really good choreographed stuff there.
That's pretty clever too for its time.
Yeah, yeah, and so they kind of do that fight. So then they kind of go away from him, and they're fighting in other places. And so we don't know what Rodman's doing off scene. Apparently, he's doing quite a bit of stuff because it's not a long time that they fight, and then they kind of square off. Van Damme and Rourke, they square off at each other, and next thing you know, Van Damme has stepped next to a cross, and we think, oh geez, he stepped on the mine, but he lifts his foot and says, no, I didn't step on a mine. And then Rourke steps, and he stepped in a blank area, but he stepped on a mine. And that's when Rodman kind of sits there with his cross. He's like, hey there, Stavros, hope you don't mind, but I moved some of your crosses around.
Yeah. I saw. Yeah, I laughed that part when I saw that today.
Yeah.
But,
So
oh yeah, that's what you have to.
So now it's like, oh, what are we gonna do? But then luckily this British guy who's like the spy handler guy, he comes in with the baby and says like, hey, I got your baby. And so it's like, okay, well, now we got to get out of here because the whole place is rigged to blow. And that's when a tiger shows up, which we had the tiger show up earlier on.
Yeah, he dropped by earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things I think that I like about CGI, like for the most part, I'm kind of in agreement with, like, I know you and your brother talked about not liking CGI. And most people like, you want practical effects. And I agree for the most part that practical effects are better. But I think tigers, I like a good CGI tiger. Like, leave the tigers alone,
Yeah, you don't want to really hurt a real tiger.
No.
Look what happened to Siegfried and Roy's.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but what happens is they escape, and then the tiger charges at Stavros for. Oh, do they do something? Do they put something near him or something that makes like the tiger want to get him? I can't remember.
I don't remember. I think he just kind of just gets Mickey Rourke, and they both blow up. The
They both
tiger
blow
and
up.
Stavros.
Yeah. And so they blow up, and then our heroes need to escape this Coliseum place. And they're having trouble getting out of there in time because it's a kind of a maze. They got to run a lot, and the flame is catching up to them. So what do you do when the flames are catching up to you? Like, there's they're probably just going to die, right? They're just going to die.
Yeah, you would think so.
Fortunately, there's a soda machine in here, and fortunately, Dennis Rodman is huge, right? So he picks up the soda machine and he blocks everybody with the machine while the flames are coming in. Now he's holding onto this metal thing. That's the first thing, right? He's holding onto metal. There's flames. The flames are coming to the side of they are engulfing the sides of this.
This Coke machine.
Yeah. So his hands for some reason aren't burning at all. They're not hurting at all. And the baby's just kind of sitting there hanging out, like enjoying it, while everybody's huddling up behind Rodman, who's holding onto this big soda machine. And they fortunately they're able to survive. They get blown out. Don't they get blown out of the thing?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
And the main thing, I should rewatch Double Team. I think I have a copy. I know I have a copy on tape.
Yeah, and I think it might be on one of the free streamers as well.
Oh, on streamer? Okay,
it's a recent thing. It wasn't until recently. I think it's a relatively recent thing that it was on. I think it was on Tubi, but I'm not sure.
Make it look up really fast.
Now this I believe this is one of two Van Damme movies that I saw in the theater. Actually, I should say. So it's on Pluto. Pluto has this movie.
Okay.
So I've only seen two Van Damme movies in the theater. It's this one and Street Fighter.
The Street Fighter in the theater and Double Team. That's awesome.
So those are the only two Van Dammes. Yeah. So Street Fighter, I remember actually because I remember we were in this movie theater, this cheaper movie theater in Portsmouth, and while we were waiting, there was a Domino's pizza nearby, and I got myself like a small pizza just to like eat. Called ahead, picked it up, and ate it in my buddy's car while we're waiting for the movie to start. But Double Team, there's a young woman that I work with, and we went to see the movie together. It was kind of a date, kind of not a date, but Yeah, essentially, in a way, it was a date. I took a date to see Double Team, and so
That's amazing.
yeah, she got a kick out of it too. She got the humor and all that stuff in it. I mean, the movie's a trip. I mean, there's stuff I don't know if you remember all this stuff, like when they fly out of the plane and instead of a parachute, a
It's like a
basketball.
basketball,
Right?
right?
Yes, it's like I'd forgotten
I
about
remember
that.
that part. Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't
oh,
that crazy? I mean,
yeah,
like, well, because Dennis Rodman was huge in the '90s.
right.
Huge.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you couldn't escape Mr. Rodman with his wedding dress and his Carmen Electra and his just overall kind of. He was likable too. That's the thing.
Yeah, he was winning championships with the
Yeah.
Chicago Bulls, and yeah, I mean that's the thing. Usually for people in team sports, they're not a lot of fun because they kind of drive that out of you because you gotta all be a team and you gotta work together and all that stuff. So there isn't a lot of room for personalities, and Rodman is kind of one of those things that he's like 6'8" and really athletic, so it was like he was too good for him to not be playing, but at the same time. Yeah, he was. It was this unique thing, and again, like they were, he was winning championships with the Bulls at the time with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. So yeah,
That good old Scottie Pippen. And the
good.
thing is about the Double Team, of course, it has the Cyber Monks,
Yes, yes, with John Finette,
which
right?
come back. And Simon Says it's basically a sequel to Double Team.
Right. Yeah. So Rich Haas from DTV Digest, he had mentioned that it was supposed to be a sequel to Double Team, but they couldn't get Van Damme for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they got Dane Cook instead.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. They centered it around Rodman. Also, was it Natalie? What's her Natalie Gugili? I can't really think of her name. The one who was in she was in the Saved by the Bell, the new class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was that with Dan Golick?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, that's the college year. Sorry.
Oh, right. The college years with Dan Golick. That's
College
right. Oh my
College
God.
is Dan Golick.
Yeah.
New Class. I know. I didn't watch a lot of New Class. I think when was that on? I forget. I think I was watching other shows.
Yeah, it was later. So it had the Swiss guy from one of the from what were those movies that Albert Pyun did? I can't think of the name of them right now. It's like yeah.
Urban Menace.
No, not Urban. No, it was like this like fighter movie. There's no way. Max Havoc.
Blood
Max Havoc.
Match.
That's what it was. The Max Havoc movies.
Oh, Max Havoc, right? Which the second one is almost unwatchable because you can't see what's going on.
Right, right. Because I think that one was one that also had like multiple. Yeah. But yeah, I think it had like multiple directors because I think it was Isaac Florentine takes over at the end from.
Right, I think that's the first one. Because I remember the second one had Dean Cain. He had like blonde hair.
That's right.
Really see
That's
it.
right. That's right.
It's kind of. I wish that was you could see the movie because that's kind of funny.
Yes.
It's like, but yeah, I enjoyed this fight. It was another good Van Damme fight. See, that's what's good about Van Damme and Stallone. They have like good final fights for people to talk about in podcasts. Like
Yeah.
Van Damme has a lot of great. We can do Van Damme for next couple of months.
Right. I was thinking about that because of the fact that that you mentioned that we did the sudden death one, but I mean we've got Tong Po in Kickboxer,
That's
Bolo
fantastic.
Young in Bloodsport. I mean those are two just.
We have, yeah, and we have himself in Replicant.
Yes, that's right. I think we talked about maybe doing that one. So that's another great one. Yeah. Hard Target, right?
Him and Lance Henriksen.
Yeah. I mean that's
or I guess I don't know Vosloo. I don't know what. Maybe Lance Henriksen.
Yeah, we could kind of go either right. You could go either way with that one. And I mean, so yeah, I mean,
and of course, Street Fighter, Guile versus Raw Julia.
Oh my God, yes, with Raul Julia just doing the same flying at him move.
Yeah, it's the same kick over and over again. But I mean, that's what's funny about the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I remember that when I was like, "You're doing the same move." Like that's what we're doing. Well, it makes sense because that's what you do in the video game to annoy people. It's just like when you're playing with your buddies, you just do the same move and then annoy people.
Oh yeah, because the thing I remember was in that.
Is that the point?
The original Street Fighter 2, Chun-Li, if you just walked forward and hit the X button, I think it was unstoppable. Mm-hmm. So they actually had to fix it for Champion Edition.
That's hilarious. You have a good memory for that.
Oh yeah, because I used to use. I remember a buddy of mine. He said like he would like when I was doing that to him. Mm-hmm. He would that move. He's like Poirier, I'm going to do some investigation on this and find out if this is true for all the Street Fighters. I'm not going to turn this game on when you're in the room, And so
that's hilarious.
He found out that Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition they'd fixed it. So
was T-Hawk in that game?
Yes, that's who he used to use on me was T-Hawk. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't think he wasn't in the Street Fighter movie or the other one. No one cares about T-Hawk anymore.
No, you need a good T-Hawk. Yeah, he's
I always usually used him in the arcade game.
yeah,
He had like stronger moves.
right. And he could dive bomb you, which was a
Yes, I remember that. I remember the dive bomb.
yeah.
And same with Eternal Champions, which is also a game I've still not beaten in like 20,000 years. The final boss is so hard.
Yeah.
It's like if you remember the final boss of Eternal Champions,
Yeah.
it's like it's the boss, but he has every single character's moves, like all the people you fought. So that's crazy. How do you beat this guy? It's like
I know. We need.
he has Rax and Midnight. It's people who want to play this game.
Yeah. No.
Jetta. I'm trying to remember all the people's names. Larson Tyler, the cat burglar fighter.
Yes.
Remember him?
No, I don't know if I remember Eternal Champions. I don't know if I played that one.
I remember Eternal Champions. Oh,
yeah.
okay. It's a great game. It's perfect for Genesis.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have Genesis or do you have Super Nintendo?
I did have Genesis. Okay. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, I hear Copper's coming.
Yeah,
I hear
the sirens coming through here. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, same. You can't really escape the sirens, huh?
Now, well, because we live right near one of the firehouses, so they come right across the street. Over to us.
Firehouse. That's a great band to do karaoke
right.
Yeah. Don't treat me bad.
Don't treat me. That's right. Baby, don't treat me bad. Yeah.
That's a great way to end the podcast. But we should probably do what we're doing next.
Yeah. So we think we're going to do Eckhart. I think is
Eckhart on the Skids.
Eckhart on the Skids. Yeah. So
we have Rumble in the Dark.
Yeah.
It's a punch fighter. And then we have Classified, which one is it's kind of like the other one. Bricklayer, what's the other one?
Yeah, Bricklayer Station. Yep, Chief of Yeah. I mean his character name, so he's Jack Boucher in Rumble Through the Dark. I think he's Evan Shaw in Classified.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great names.
Yeah, so these should all work. So I think I think these will be and Classified is also a Roll Rene film, so I think it could be.
Oh, great!
It's got Tim Roth as well,
and Tim Roth. So Tim Roth, welcome Tim Roth to our podcast.
Yeah.
Usually renowned actor Tim Roth. Now you're doing straight to videos.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this should be another
dipped
fun
his
one
toe in there too.
Yeah.
Everyone really has, except for Schwarzenegger, which I want him now. I want him in straight to video now.
Yeah.
Like Tom Cruise, Schwarzenegger, Gosling, and Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
It's like we got Wait, and Thunderbolts, does Julie Louis-Dreyfus do any martial arts?
No.
Oh,
what? I'm trying to think. No, nothing really. No, she has nothing much, nothing really.
How about some like fun exposition, like a Lane kind of type exposition?
Yeah, a little bit. She does some. Yeah, but the thing is, she's kind of like she's a bit she's a darker character. So yeah,
okay.
I don't want to say too much because if you're gonna see it,
that's interesting.
I want you to go and clean. It's interesting as a movie. I enjoyed it. Like I did definitely like it. I think like I would say as a movie, it probably. Like I don't think you'll like it as much as Deadpool and Wolverine because I didn't like it as much as that, but I think it's like kind of goes back to like those first couple phases of Marvel where they just kind of made fun movies. It feels like that kind of.
That's what I've been hearing because I love the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, so it's not as good as Captain America: Winter Soldier, but if you love the Winter Soldier, you get good. I mean, it's really Florence Pugh's movie. She's the kind of the main one. Yeah, Pugh, exactly. But she's good. She kind of think about her for being Hawkeye and Black Widow. She's that good.
Right.
But then Sebastian Stan. If you're a Sebastian Stan fan, if you like that Winter Soldier character, you're not going to be disappointed with that. He's definitely good here as well. So yeah.
But yeah, so I guess I look forward to Aaron Eckhart on the Skids.
Yeah.
People like these skid ones. So this will be our fourth one now?
I think so. We did Malky on the Skids, Baldwin on the Skids,
Cusack
on the Skids, and so now we've got Aaron Eckhart on the Skids. So yeah.
Baldwin on the Skids. That was a good one. Was that? I can't remember the name. Steak Knife.
Steak Knife. Right. Yes.
That wasn't the title, but it was Steak Knife and the other one.
Yeah.
Steak. When I heard, I still have a Steak Knife.
Yeah.
And the return of Pavon Grover, which is amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but we should probably let people go. I do plugs.
Yes. So you want to plug it up now? Yeah.
Right.
Yep. What do we
go ahead, please.
No. I'm not plugging because I do my cold open.
Oh, sorry. You do your plugs before the pod.
Yeah. Exactly.
So ComeuppanceReviews.net, we posted a review. We did post a review, which is, I think it was Extreme Force.
Oh, yes.
Hector Ectavaria. We're going to post something soon, which I'll tell you, it's the Eliminator.
Nice.
Michael Rooker and Bas Rutten.
Yeah.
Did you review that one?
No, I haven't yet. I saw that you posted the video of it, I think, or the VHS of it, right?
Yeah, I did. So I posted that. That was the last thing I posted. Which is, that's a good segue. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tax Rocks the Instagram handle. I posted Eliminator. So, I'm gonna post some new stuff. I'm gonna post a ninja movie soon called Ninja's Force.
Oh, nice.
But it's a Japanese tapes. I'm not really sure what to put as the like kind of the tagline. I'll say here's Ninja's Force or something.
Right.
And then tag come up with the Twitter X. And I think that's all the plugs. I hope this should be fine. But you know, GoDaddy was being a little weird.
Oh.
So the site should be fine.
Yeah.
But
Come on,
if there's an issue, it should be fixed by then.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Well, yeah, I'll I can keep an eye on too with the links. I have the link on my page on dtvconnoisseur.blogspot.com. So if there's any issues, yeah, I can always update the link there as well.
Yeah,
so.
I'll tell you, I don't see an issue because, not to be all in the weeds, but, they give you an email and they say it's not, there's a payment problem, but it's like I paid for it for a long time. So,
yeah.
I know that's all in the weed stuff,
Oh, no, I know. Yeah, I've been
it's
there.
like I paid you,
right.
But nothing. It's like we'll see what happens tomorrow because it could get shut off tomorrow. I don't know. I'll take it tomorrow.
All right, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. It should be fine. I'll fix it if there's a problem. I have some money. It's fine. It's like $5.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll be posting Eliminator soon. No problem.
Perfect.
Thanks again for having me on, by the way.
Yes, thank you for coming on, and thank you everybody for listening. We'll be back soon.
Great.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.